Hey, welcome team, welcome. We're going to be playing some Shadow Empire today. I've sort of labelled this one, That's No Moon, but it is going to be a moon actually. We're going to be playing on a small moon. I thought it would play something a bit different with Shadow Empire. I know that I had started one weeks ago now, but I'm going to just get going again on something small and difficult. And so a moon is the is going to be the way that we're going to do this one. Let's just get into it. So we're going to start a new game. And we are going to basically just sort of do the smallest of the small. So we're just going to go to a small size and go down to a moon class, which means that there's no atmosphere. This is going to be hard. This is going to be a hard start. We'll keep just spread out on it with the majors. There'll only be one or two other majors on the actual moon itself. We're going to go with detail planet generation. I'll just go through how these all sort of work, then go and work. Fog of War will be partial. I could do no map otherwise complete. I'll go partial. I'll just go partial, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what that one does. Actually, I can't recall, actually. We'll see how it goes. We can always restart. One human player, city-states, so number of initial zones, a city-state start. I'm going to go militia only this time. I normally go 2 armies per zone, just so I can expand quickly. But let's actually start. Let's start from bare bones this time. No story modules. We'll start at tech level 3. Air forces, I'll enable them, but we don't need them. So that won't be there. Oceanic DLC features are off. I can turn them on because we're not going to have any oceans. It really just won't really matter. Development speed, I'll keep on slow as well. Only Supreme Command Council. Difficulty level on hard. Give the AO more time to think. And no game variations, which is mainly... I could disable the epochs. We don't really... They're not like. I mean, the reason that they're good is that they, particularly at the lower difficulty levels, you do get extra like fate points when they sort of finish doing what they're doing. So as you enter new epochs, you do get some benefits. It's sort of one of those things where it can push the game in different directions. It doesn't have a major bearing though. So let's just go, and we'll keep, of course, the hard logistics. On a small moon, logistics won't really be a problem. All right, so let's go continue. And we are, this is a planet in a slightly eccentric and slow orbit around a yellow-white FO star. So we're 4.16 astronomical units. Gravity is tiny, 0.1 G. Temperature 74, so it's very, very hot. So we're looking at a very, very hot planet. The solar radiance is very high. This is good, actually, because this is actually how we can get energy. Planetary age, 1.5 billion years. Now, there still won't be any, because of the size of it, there won't be any atmosphere, so there'll be no life on this particular moon, even though 1.5 billion years is enough time for life to develop. Map size, only 37 by 13, so it's going to be a tiny, tiny little map that we play on. Good heavy elements, so we're going to end up with good mining. Okay, tilt 35 degrees. Spin cycle 20. Spin. I always say cycle. It's I don't know why. I know that it's a washing machine reference, but anyway, the spin is every like the day is 23 hours, not 24 hours for like us. Continue. We now get to sort of see the planet, being formed underneath us. I won't worry too much about what's going on through there. In this case, we have it does have a thin atmosphere of only 177 millibars. Highest mountain on the waterless planet stands tall at 3 kilometres. The planet is still geologically active, so that means that there will be volcanoes somewhere. Mountainous, so low mountains, which will be okay, and lots of plains, no water, of course, but there will be ice. Ice will be the critical thing that we will need to be getting. We'll just go continue. This is now the planets again sort of forming underneath us, so 0 value, there's nothing there, no evolution, it's completely lifeless and has no atmosphere at all. Okay, we'll just go continue. Colonization, so we've got 63 million actually came to the planet. It does have a bit of a mining economy, mostly services now. Only 6 zones in the colonization phase. So several small companies have created workshops on the planet. A big corporation has opened up a huge UCM drive facility on the planet. Due to its strategic location, the key spaceport has been booming, and so this is back hundreds of years in the past. Yeah, mining company shows interest. Due to mining activity, all processing industries have relocated to the planet. Yeah, so it becomes quite a great university of the planet. It's considered one of the best in the sector. The sector's mining ministry, relocated to the planet. The planet is becoming a mining hub in the sector, creating synergy effects for the miners. So it's a mining planet with lots of services that have now built up. So Voodoo Talk was saying is when Navy, yes, indeed, when. if only it was here, but it's not yet. Hi, you Star, how you going? And Kiro saying a new run. Yeah, look, the last one I can't even remember what I did the last time. I want to play something fairly digestible, fairly small. And on YouTube, Droga Nile is saying, is there a new update? There's always newish stuff. I don't know when the new one, there's nothing major that's come in. And hi, Kay Shizzle, how you going? Right, let's continue on. So that's the colonization phase. This is when we're at sort of the height of the Galactic Republic, and now we sort of have the Dissolution War, where the Galactic Republic collapses. So the Dissolution War reached Latera Patronum in the year 8007. War consumed all, technology fell to barbaric levels in over a century of warfare and collapse. There's only 0.2 million survivors left. They're mainly scavengers, so they're going to be sort of like nasty. We've got some raiders as well, so don't have any hunters or farmers. Farmers and hunters are the easy ones to deal with. In the early phase of the Dissolution War, the battles that raged across the planet took an enormous toll. Yeah, blah, 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 back and through there. So what do we have? We've got things, we'll find these on the planet to a degree. Local reformist forces tried to storm the Planetary Senate in 8024. Neighbouring systems started hamstring goods and liquid energy. Reformers control several zones and secede from the loyalists to the Galactic Republic. So several major companies have evacuated their high-tech installations from the planet in 8063. In 8125, enemies of Peloran have nuked it. We can see that there's nuclear fallout, some of it quite heavy, on the actual planet itself. An unknown extremely virulent disease wiped out Zegalin. These are all going to be old zones. Remember, there's only 6 zones in total. A forgotten nuclear reactor. So in 2164, a forgotten nuclear reactor went into meltdown, radiating landing. So wherever the landing was, and we could have looked for that to sort of find it. So landing is again the zone where the first colonists come. It's always the same in every single map of Shadow Empire. An internal struggle led to massive and extremely savage infighting in Malorio. The enemies of Zagalan have nuked it again, so they've suffered twice. An unknown and virulent disease wiped out Zagalan again. That's three big things that have now happened to Zagalan. A network of delayed megamines detonates for no apparent reason following zones hit. Landing again. More of these megamines have now sort of exploded. And a powerful raider clan decided to set up an example and kill all their enemies in Peloran. So Peloran's been mentioned a couple of times as well. So it's been nuked as well as been a raider clan has now sort of come through and done damage to it. So that's going to be what we're going to be dealing with. So we'll just go continue. I can re-roll this to see. I'll do it just to sort of show the differences that may appear. One thing we'll sort of see, if I just click on random in through here and zoom out, this is the actual planet itself. There's hardly anything to it. So if I just sort of use that's the whole map, is this one here that we're sort of now looking at. So hardly anything on it, but you can see there the nuclear fallout is everywhere. Like it's just taken everything, and I didn't really get to see where landing actually was, but if we go back and re-roll, we'll just sort of see if the nuclear fallout sort of changes, which it should. Yep, so this one here, there's hardly any nuclear fallout. So as we sort of come through, the appearance of pirate fleets has severely decreased the amount of cargo ships visiting the planet. A powerful raider clan decided to set an example and killed all of the enemies in Peloran, so that still happened. An unknown extremely disease wiped out that one through there. There's extremely savage infighting in Malorio. Enemies of Peloran have nuked it. So Peloran is the one now that's sort of suffering. Again, if we have a look, we should see a little bit of... No, it's actually had enough time for the nuclear fallout to dissipate in this instance. So this will be sort of what we end up having. Just go back into here again. Yeah, they've nuked it. Enemies of Optio have nuked it as well. This is like 100 years in the past, more than 100 years. Out of nowhere, a giant unmanned spaceship crashed into a Potion. Terrible earthquakes destroy and wreck the towns in Zegelin, and a terrible plague spreads and kills a sizable population, percentage of the population. We're again got scavengers and raiders. Essentially, is all we've actually really got on the planet itself. So it's not going to be a very pleasant planet. We'll just go continue. So this is the summary. Not that we need to know anything there. We'll just start the game. There's three major regimes. It looks like everyone is just a major regime. So we're the Claystron Federation. We'll call this one the actually we'll call it the DasTopian Federation. The DasTopians. That'll do, and we'll change. It's actually it looks like it's forgotten my. I did actually have a mod in here that where it did kick in. I wonder why that mod's not there anymore. I had a Star Wars mod and it's no longer actually showing up. That's okay. It doesn't really matter unless my other mod isn't in there as well. I'm assuming that we're going to just go to yellow with the unit colors. That'll do. Okay, so that's going to be what we have. We're just going to go and click on OK. Now, so we've got enforcement, government, or commerce. Now, really, it's going to have to be, we're going to have to go aggressive. So we'll go enforcement, we'll go with heart, and we'll go with autocracy. There we are. We're in. Previous president is now buried, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. It's now up to you to lead the Federation to victory. All right, so this is a new graphic, actually. There must be, it looks like an AI type graphic. I'm guessing this is old. Okay, we've got a docile AI that's going to be useful at the start. You're a liar. Yep, this one we get 3 fate points by doing this one here. Unabashed accusations leads populace to believe you're a liar. That's actually something that we may play right from the start. Not that we've got too many fate points that we really want to be using. Proposed peace, open contact. The Ascension speech that we actually have in through here. We'll come back to this one. Although really the one that this one here will go up. We need tech advances soon, or will be way too exposed. So calculating illogical, where mind goes up. The fact that that does give me a bonus, I'll probably just pick that one now anyway. So we'll just go that way. All right, so militia parade. So this is actually, we need to then allocate money. We've only got 489. This is going to be difficult. If I go no, these really don't like it. And so I'm going to have to go yes, and then find other ways to make money. New organisation. I'll come back for this one. Let's look at the zone decisions in through here. Now, upgrading to a small town, I will actually do that one straight away. This is 5 political points. I've only got 11 left at this point in time. That's going to be 4. Yeah, I can still do it. So we'll go and upgrade.
Roger that.
That's going to leave me with 6. So I've got just enough to figure out which one we want. Now, I pretty much know it's going to have to be the Economic Council. I know that without even thinking about it. So I might even just do that now and just sort of set that one up. That might be the way to do this, I think. Actually, I'll come back to that one. So we'll just come back and sort of do a quick analysis. We'll just dismiss that one. Danger in the zone. Now, the danger in the zone can only be raiders. So what we have is, now there was 3 majors and 1 minor. So I'm not exactly sure which one is our minor yet. This is overall, that's landing back in over through here, for example. These are the old ruins. So we sort of now, like by playing it this way, we get to see borders. We get to see what was where. So we'll sort of be able to sort of spot things. Now it looks like this is actually going to be the independent, that we will need to, we'll need to be the one that claims this one very, very quickly. If I sort of zoom back out again and just use the arrow keys just to move around. Then we've got another major at the top. Yeah, so they've got abilities to sort of move in. What I need to do is I need to secure this before they can get there. when we look at Rorio, back and through here, this is at the Palaran ruins, which had come up in the histories. We're going to have to zip across this area and really try to cut off these roads if we can and surround it. Particularly getting into these ruins here. This here is actually just on a plain, so this is actually essentially just on a it says unknown landscape, but we can see there it's just going to be plains. We do actually have, this is the Zegelen ruins that we actually started off in. So we started off in Zegelen, and we start off with practically nothing, which means that claiming territory is going to be very, very important. If we have a quick look at the strategic zones around us, the strategic map. So Rorio almost surrounds us in this particular territory. We have the minor factions back in through there, and then we have this is non-aligned forces. Landing territory is the territory that was back over the other side, over that way. Turtefell is actually that is the location called Turtefell. Then we have Bonatiska at Orlard. That one up there, and then we have ourselves down the bottom through here at Claystron. Right, so that's sort of where we are. Just going to grab myself a drink of water, be right back. So this is a very, very contained map with what we actually have through here. Let's just leave that one alone. Now, when we start off in this sort of way, we're going to the build up here is going to be quite difficult, and we're going to need to sort of deal with that one through there. Now, I'll just read a few of the comments here. So, Brian is saying, if you get a moment, Daz, can you explain why not to level up a city before its quality of life is in place? Yes, when you level up a city, it becomes a little bit more difficult in terms of trying to control the city. So if the city is against you, then essentially you need to try to keep it at a low level to be able to then sort of suppress it. It's not as demanding, and so that's why you wouldn't do it. But with your capital city, which is already behind you anyway, there's no real good reason to not do that. But certainly when you take over another city, you may want to wait a little bit before you then level it up. And so leveling it up is good for your home city, but not for the others. That's my sort of understanding. Excuse me, as of exactly what you have to do there. You start saying the only thing leveling up to a city gets you is, where did that one go? Is the ability to build structures of the tier of the city in it. So a tier 2 city can only get up to tier 2 structures. It also does attract population into the city, so it actually grows faster when it's a higher tier, but it also is harder then to suppress. So it's sort of by going up a tier, the requirements for higher quality of life go up, so you need more quality of life points to get higher quality of life score. Yeah, it's sort of like for the home city, I don't mind it because I want the growth as well. So I'm sort of happy enough to go that way. I thought there's a public expectation associated with higher levels that generated negative citizen opinion if not met. It's sort of it's more likely. Well, it depends on the city. And it depends on where you are with the city. So it's sort of it's not a hard set thing. If they're already unhappy, then yes, it is harder to get them happy. So you do need to wait until they actually are happy enough to sort of go and do things. So it's worth holding off on leveling until you want to build an extra tier. You start saying yes, but there's actually, I would say no, because if you are wanting to get the population up, and then population equals all sorts of other things for you as well, then I think leveling up your home city is something to do. But again, it's a complex game, and people are going to play it different ways. So there's different ways of actually playing the game. Someone was saying, I think there would be some sort of prestige associated with it to make it more appealing to do. It does come for me. It's the extra population growth is what I'm looking for at this early stage. I should mention these things when I make these decisions as to why I'm doing or not doing certain stuff. Union ID saying, would you be able to direct me to the best of your series that details how to work with the MTH DLC? To be honest, I never really liked it. I did do one, and I can't remember which series it is, but I did do one where I did play with the MTH, but I never enjoyed it. It was one of those things where I got to the point where I did an invasion using the MTH, but like the maritime trade houses. But it really, at that point, I thought I'm not going to play this again until there's navy units. For me, that was I just thought this isn't the way the game. Didn't feel like the way the game should be played. So I sort of I only ever really played it once properly, and never again until we get naval units. And so D's saying I recently got it on Steam Spring Sale and it's somewhat confusing. Yeah, look, I don't play with it on anymore. I will when we get naval units, but I don't play it at the moment. Muzzle Paint saying the greatest game streamed by the greatest streamer. Thank you, Muzzle Paint. Luigi is then saying I'm having huge issues with Shadow Empire when it comes to managing its systems. They're just hidden everywhere rather than on a single place. Well, they're sort of once you start to know where to look at things, I'll go through my steps. Essentially, the first turn is always the hardest because you've got to make a lot of evaluations on your first turn and then sort of move from there. So I'll just go through those steps anyway. The combat is incredibly counterintuitive and relies too much on the leaders, which you often can't even compute in your calculations, not to mention that everything is too random. Well, no, this is, again, I think, I don't know if you're playing with my mod. Like, you can see how I've got a mod that puts in terrain. And the reason I do that is, and it's not so much going to kick in here, but to know... It's very important to know what's a high mountain in this instance back over through here. What's a low mountain? What's forest? You sort of really need to know the terrain, and also, of course, the ruins as well. You need to know where these all are because these have a major impact on your strategy. So when I look at Rorio, what I'm actually I'm looking at a few. Sorry, I'll just go back in here. When I'm looking at Rorio through here, what I'm looking at is incredibly high defensive abilities in through this other side. I'm looking at defending easily on this escarpment down coming in from the actual from people coming in from the sand dunes. So we've got like low sand dunes running through here. And then I've also, Rorio itself has got another protection with that escarpment. And we're looking at escarpments all the way around. The weakest point to attack Rorio is here. So I can almost, even if I don't take Rorio, but I can somehow claim all of these territories and leave this one open. That for me is a goal because I know that, like for example, if I go into, and I haven't sort of, can see certain things into here, but we've lost sight of the Cal's range, for example. But if I go and click on this one through here at the ruins and I just hover over, it's then going to show me what the modifiers are for everything that goes on through there. So in a ruin, as soon as you enter it, you get entrenchment for your infantry and your guns of 125, and even walkers get like 50. So the entrenchment for that is very, very high. And then the maximum entrenchment, if I don't move, they go up to 250, which is a hell of a lot. That's like a multiplier of just how, so a unit that's worth, let's just say 100 attack points or whatever it might be, it's going to be like you're going to have another 125 added on top of that essentially. So it pretty much doubles what a infantry unit can then go and do in those locations. So getting into those locations can be really important in terms of establishing a front line. So I've been looking at, like when I first come in, the first thing I look at is what can I defend, and so the game is not random with this at all. It really. Once you start playing to the terrain, it really makes a massive difference with the way it sort of does then go and work. So that's again just looking at ruins in through there. Then there's also things of like where the attack modifiers, like if it's for guns to attack into this location, they get -50. Motorized units get -50, and tanks get -50 because it's urban warfare essentially inside the ruins. The defensive modifier, motorized and tanks get a -25%. So they still defend okay in those locations, but they don't attack very well. So knowing how the interplay between the attacking and defending works is very, very important. If we have a bit of other look around, like the mountains, I can't see these mountains, so I actually have to pick up those. I've got the, if I go to some of the others, actually, it's got unknown landscape. It's sort of like this is now too far away for me to actually look at. But low mountains, I've got 100 entrenchment there, maximum entrenchment of 200. These are only slightly worse than than getting the ruins, and so setting up like another line of defence back into here, this is extremely easy to defend, unless there's overwhelming forces that come up against you. And again, having the escarpment. If I go and have a look at the escarpment and just go to the rocky plains in through here, what we'll see is at the very top, it's got roads present, dirt road, and it's got rivers present, which is actually, in this case, it counts the escarpments as rivers. And so there's an escarpment to the north and northwest. The escarpment point, see how it's got river crossing across river at the back end there? This is actually where anything that attacks across that suffers a 50% attack except for protectors. So anything attacking over an escarpment has another negative. So if I was in the Pellerin ruins, for example, here, or even here, where we've got these ruins right next to where we actually are. So there's Zegelin ruins in this other side. We can see again that there's the escarpment in the north. So we would entrench at 125. We'd get a maximum, and if we didn't move a unit from there, we'd end up with getting them up to 250. And anything attacking it from the north is going to have a negative 50 to their attack. So it's also shown, but it's one of these things where when you and really, to be honest, I can't play the game without this mod. I'll show you where to get the mod if you're interested. It's completely free. If you just go to ko-fi.com/DasTactic, so this is a mod that I made. Just go to the shop. This allows me to sort of update things, it's a bit old now, but anyway. And so this is the, if you're playing with M. Royer's terrain, you can actually just use these directly from here with his terrain mod up, or the Shadow Empire terrain icons mod in through this other side as well, which then just give you the various, like, so you can see, what the forest levels are, etc., etc., which for me makes it so much better. And it just put $0 in there. Get it now, and then you've then picked it up. So I've nearly sold nearly not sold, but there's nearly 2,000 of those have been downloaded, which is pretty cool. So anyway, that's actually, but for me, this is a must-have. I wish the base game had it, but at least the mod's there to be able to show you what's important. Like if I go, for example, just into like a rocky plains and through this other side, you'll see that there's very, very little entrenchment that you can then sort of go and get. So this is where the game sort of opens right up. So the rocky plains are ideal for tanks, but the mountains, the ruins, these are ideal for infantry. So you end up with sort of like differences in through there. So Luigi is saying you can fight the same battle under the same conditions 5 times and you get extremely different results each time. There is a RNG, but it shouldn't be wildly different. So I'll just move my head out of the way of just trying to think of the best place where I should pop where I'm actually am. Just bear with me. I'll just try to move this across. Would that be the best spot? I'll just see if that works. Yep, that'll do. All right, that should be out of the way, I think. So we should be okay. Yep, so K-Shizzle saying the big ones for combat success are entrenchment supply and caliber mismatch. Yes, yep, there's a lot of different things in through there. So Drogper, no, I was saying play another game then, lol. But no. Like, what it is, this is a hard game to play. Like it's one of these games that it's incredibly inspiring to build. Like every time you play it, it's so wildly different. Like and this is where it's one of these games where it's not just a matter of like it's one of these games that people want to play because it's just so different every time you play it, but there is a barrier to entry essentially with understanding certain things about the game. So it's not an easy game to pick up. So in that sort of sense, I think it's there's more to it than just saying play another game because it's one of these games that you want to play. It's like Dwarf Fortress. People love the idea of Dwarf Fortress, but so many people actually get Dwarf Fortress and never play it. And same with Shadow Empire. They get Shadow Empire enjoy having it, but not actually, but then don't actually go ahead and actually play it themselves. But but it is. So one of the things I like to try to do with these is to try to make it so that it's play like fun for people to play. Anyway, that's sort of my little take on it, I guess. Where do we get to? I'll just keep on going down through the list. K Shizzle, yeah, saying the big ones. Yeah, we did that one. Hi, General Sorrow, how you going? K Shizzle saying attacking tanks with machine guns ain't going to cut it. Exactly. G Jenner is saying, will we find dinosaur bones in space? I wonder. No, we won't. And we won't on this moon. This is where the game also really shines. We're going to not have any way of making fuel in this game. So this is going to be mainly infantry that we're going to have to play with to a large degree in the early part of the game, until we can start to sort of build farming up and like dome farms, and start to sort of then get our fuel through food. Okay, so Keisha's saying I have close to 300 hours in the game and I still play with the manual open. Yes. Yeah, Drogper is in saying agree. Hard barrier and less attractive UI makes the game not that popular. Well, I think it's popular. It's just people just don't play it all that well. So George is saying Shadow Empire has complex systems and will take some time to understand for new players. Yes, it does. Lots of great tutorial videos on YouTube under the Strategos Academy channel, but I don't know that one. Union's ideas in saying, do they talk about MTH? Yeah, I've got no idea about that one. Yes, so Brian saying I share Daz's opinion. MTH is not a fun as base game. Yeah, I just keep it turned off now. Okay, well, let's get into it, I guess. So in this case, we've now got our location. We do have to expand out, and we have to find resources. If I go and press the number 1 key, we can then turn off the unit, so we can sort of see what we've actually got. So we always start off inside ruins ourselves, which makes it easier for us to then go and control. So we do actually have these in through this other side. We start off usually with water as a resource, but we're not actually mining it. So at the moment, we can see that we've got 600 water coming back in, and we've got maximum storage there of 1,300. So the last round stocks are 600. Sent to zone 0. Items present for delivery to units is 600. When we end the turn, that's going to start to drain away. We need to establish a water, like an ice mine, to mine the ice. That's going to be very, very important. This one here has got 67,000 units of water, so it's not going to last forever. So there is you've got a finite time on these moons to sort of dominate what you need to do, but that will sort of get us going. It's level 8, which makes it fairly easy to mine. So this is we're going to get a fair bit of water from this one. So we need to build a water mine in here. Now, because there's no biomatter anywhere on this particular moon, we're not going to end up finding any oil deposits. So we're not going to get that, but we may still find metal deposits, and we're going to need to look for that one. So we'll go back to my decisions right from the start, and then we'll get the Economic Council, because I'm going to need to establish that first before I do too much else. So I'm just going to go across. I'm going to go and click on OK. And I'm not going to be able to take Rorio for a long period of time. Let's just go and do our first expansion. In fact, before we do that one, I'm just going to go across into my, that's the cards. We just go into the management screen up the top through here and have a bit of a look. So what do we have? At the start, in the zone of Claystron, which is our starting zone, we end up with a high command building, which is actually drawing 10 energy, and 600 workers have to work in this particular location. It's generating for us 25 political points per turn and 10 bureaucratic points. Bureaucratic points is really the main goal of the game. That's what we have to spend ultimately that's what we need to attract in to be able to then advance. So that's important. We have a small LE battery that is generating 30. We do actually have a private sector. Has got a dome farm in here, which is generating a little bit of extra food for us. They're generating 500 food for themselves and 71 food for us. So we will get that much food like every turn. Then there's also a scavenging pit that is controlled by the private sector as well, where we're getting a little bit of fuel from scavenging through the. And this isn't one way for us to get like basic metals, fuel, etc., etc. Getting hold of this may be worth, like if we had 500, I could nationalise this, for example, just to get hold of all of this material for myself, which would be good. Okay, so so Bob Kiro for Director of the Economic Council. All right, no worries. So we'll do that redemption. And then we've got the transport hub in through here. Again, these are something that I'll be wanting to nationalise. I can remove these. If I don't do anything, we do get a bit of a benefit ourselves. We get 50 truck points, but if we control it, we get a lot more. But initially, that's probably all we really need. UNID's also got a custom reward whenever you get a new OHQ. Okay, no worries. Well, we'll have that pretty much right from the start-ish. No, we won't just yet. We have to build up. That's right. This is a different start. I normally start off with different units, but I'm not doing it this time. So this is going to be a harder start than normal. So the assets, we don't have a real lot, and we don't control a real lot ourselves except for the high command building. The models that we actually have, all we have is infantry, machine guns, motorised transports and buggies. So having a quick look, what I like to do with these is go to the design screen to see how viable they are in terms of their abilities. And so what I'm looking for here is the base design and the structural design. Now the structural design goes anywhere from 85 up to 130, I think, or is it 70 to 130? I forget exactly what the limits are, but what I'm looking for here is a number over 100. To be 100 is average, and so 114. These buggies are good. This is good. This is the overall structural design is good. The base design is also the average here is 85. This one goes from 70 through to 100. So 97 is almost as good as the base design will go and get. So this little recon buggy that we've got through here will ultimately be what we end up using initially, because like even just without looking at anything else, this is extremely good. And so the way the structural design works, this doesn't change over the course of the like as you get more and better equipment on your actual buggies, the structural design doesn't change, but the base design goes up the more you use it in combat. So base design is not as important as structural design. I like to sort of see what these are though. You've also then got things like engine design, about how this will be essentially how efficient the engine runs, and again 108 is great. Weapon design is this will sort of then just pull things down a little bit, but it doesn't really matter that much, not like these first two. Firepower 100, weight 120, engine power 300. These are basic stats, but then these are tweaked based on what we then sort of go and see. So the hit points, we've got essentially this is the hit points against infantry or against heart attacks, I think is the way that one works. I should have a bit of a better look at this. Yeah, so if we have a quick look through here, this is the this one here is hit points versus infantry or versus non-infantry. So against infantry, we've got 94 hit points, but against guns, motorised tanks, etc., we've got 157 hit points for this particular unit, which is actually fairly good. Then we've over through here, we actually have the soft attack or soft defence, and so we attack at 90, but we defend at 180, so we defend very, very highly. This is hard attack and hard defence. So against attacking like other armoured vehicles or tanks, we're going to get like we've got less attack abilities. These are not really designed. These have got machine guns. They don't have. They've sort of got like a machine gun mounted into them, which is the only real way that they sort of can go and fire. They've got attacks per combat round is just 1. The ammo that they've got is offensive, defensive, combat use, so they use 6-3 ratio, so 2-1 ratio of ammo, whether they're attacking or defending. They chew through a little bit of fuel, 1.9 fuel. They've got 0.3 food in through here as well. The weight is 45 in through this other side. The size is 4, so it's fairly small. Recon ability is very, very high, which can be very, very useful. So getting these is going to be important. They're in the tank group, is sort of how they're designated. I wish that they had their own armoured car group, to be honest. It does get a bit confusing when you see that you've got tanks that are being destroyed, and then you find out they're just armoured cars, or vice versa. You assume they're armoured cars, and they end up being actual tanks, which of course would be a lot worse. And then we have like movement cost modifiers. This one here is we have minus 20% action points, so we can move further with this one in through here. It's a wheeled vehicle, and then there's no actual quality level of the troop type because we haven't done anything with it yet. And so you can see through here that's that base design that we were talking about. So current field testing is at 97 points. Maximum field testing can go to 130. So this one here, we can sort of push this one right up. And so as we use it in the field, that will then go up and become better and better and better, which again is great in the game. There's so many little things like this that have been added into the game, which they're details that are important. So the more we use things, the better off the better they're going to be. Motorized transport really doesn't matter in terms of design. It just doesn't. That's not important at all. When we go back to the infantry. In fact, if I just go to all, I can then put them all in through here. So this is average structural design. Base design is also just slightly. These are slightly under there, but only very, very slightly. So they're just not quite where they need to be. But their overall weapon design is actually fairly good. And similarly with the machine gunners, they're above average there, above average there. So the machine gunners are better than the grunts, but these are still not too bad. And if we have a look at them, because we're starting on a place where there's no atmosphere or anything like that, they have to be built. They already come in with enviro suits, which does give them some defense. And so they've got a 70 hit points. Their overall attack and defense is 58/102, and against armor they've 26/52 defend. So against armored cars, they're not as good at attacking or defending. This is why we want to get armored cars essentially. So I'll just exit that one out of there. So this is actually all we have really in through this other side. The machine gunners, if we have a look and see what they have, see how machine gunners have got like a much higher defense. So they still attack at pretty much the same sort of rating as the grunts, but their defense is so much higher. And this is actually not so much against armor, but against infantry. Like 204 versus, we can see it through here, 204 versus 102. And so these are almost the same numbers that we're sort of seeing through this other side. So the soft attack, soft defense is, we're getting the same attack value, but the half the actual, like we're getting double the defense for machine guns, which is why machine guns are important. Right, that's sort of where we are, so we'll just keep the models where they are, but this is actually, I'm happy with that. That's actually not a bad start for us. Leaders, we've got a few of them. Oh, we've got a Tech 5. The first SHQ, Zed Allison, is already Tech level 5, which is awesome, so he's going to be incredibly valuable. He's fully into autocracy. So capacity is their ability to learn things. And so over time, he will just become better and better and better. What we don't want is we want a low heroic ability because we don't want him fighting from the front line. If they're close enough, they will then fight from the front. In this case, he is very good. And you can see they're extremely high intelligence, very high war score, high charisma. So he's incredible. And so he's also a faction leader of the Sacred Circle. And so he is an absolute star. It's very rare to get cap 5s. Everyone else is just cap 1 and 2, so they're pretty useless. Now, what we have through here is we have an advisor at cap level 2. I'll just have a quick look at each of these. Intelligence is pretty good. I can make use of these and put them into the other role. We've only got a cap level 1 reserve pool member in through here. Intelligence is average-ish. It does have some skills in the intelligence area. I might... I don't know what I'll do with him. But the rest of them are pretty shitty. Gus has got pretty good charisma, so even though he's only cap level 2, he's going to be okay, and he's got pretty good skills in through here as well with different things as he's sort of coming through. So he's actually, even at cap level 2, he's actually not too bad, so he'll probably be okay as our governor, even though he's only cap level 2. But really you're wanting to see the cap level 3s, 4s and 5s for all your important things. We may have to try to get somebody better than a cap level 1 as our new economic development person. So that's going to be a bit of a tricky one for us. Profiles we don't need to worry about at this stage. Tech, we start off with all the early tech, so recycling, we've got that one through there. We've got the mining, biofuel, carbines, furnaces, farming. Now, furnaces are going to be useless for us. So we do have a scavenge furnace, which we could build. Farming in through this other side, wind traps, industry, enviro suits, and truck logistics. But we're going to be needing some of these. And so the EC is the Economic Council. We definitely want to get the solar energy. That's actually probably what we're going to be aiming for initially. Get as much of that as we possibly can. Discovery cost for solar energy is 200 BP, and the research cost is then 400 BP, the bureaucratic points. So that's going to be critical that we get that as early as we possibly can, because we're going to need energy. Everything else is sort of okay-ish, because we've got mining, we've got even biofuel. We can get by with different things here, I think. So I'll just read a few more of the comments. Does field testing improve the current model, or one that is developed off the field tested design? It's the ones that come afterwards. It's sort of like it helps the next prototype. The next prototype starts at that level. So whichever level you can only get up to 130 anyway. But those armored cars is already sort of moving up now towards that particular one. So we actually are pushing it. It's already pretty damn good. Like the armored car is going to just get better and better and better over time, but it's essentially going to when we do an upgrade, you'll sort of see it'll then take whatever it's done through field testing and then apply it to the next version up, and we can then sort of just keep it getting better and better. But it'll end up, they will be a very, very good unit for us over the course of this game. Dugfire field testing is really important. For example, in World War II, the German tanks took far longer with repairs for multiple reasons. One of them being that if you wanted to do anything with the tank threads, you had to disassemble the sides to get to the threads. Americans had easy removable parts for the tank threads and covering them. There we are. Yep. And so you're saying Zed sucked up all the ability of your starting group. Yeah, he did. So he's saying, I missed your starting profile. What did you start with? Pretty much the bare bones. Slow development, but also like just the early techs, and no units. So we're going to have to build up from scratch. So it's a bit of a tricky one. The model types, we're going to have to sort of slowly find the next one. You can see there we can try to find the bazooka if we have a military technology. We've got artillery, we've got light tanks, so we've got trucks. Light tanks will be the next thing that we try to get. The APCs will then come after the recon buggies, but we don't need these just yet. So these are all going to be, and the bazooka, for example, is good against armor. So they're all good at different things. The basic types are fairly cool. Blueprints we don't need at this point in time, so we'll just go back out from back to the. I would love to control these two, the scavenging and the transport hub. But I can't afford it. I'm not going to be able to afford it for quite some time. All right, let's go back out now and start our initial expansion. One thing I want to be doing is taking these little free folk outposts and getting them inside my territory. But I also need to be trying to squash Rurio so that they can't expand. So I need to push that back. And also similarly with the fronts up through this other side as well. Trosto is going to be probably the most important one for us to then just try to go and get. Like if I just move up along, I'll just go and just move these across. All right, we've been able to get up to there. They will be able to come out. Like these don't honour the borders, but these borders are honoured. So we need to expand. And I'll just see what else we've got back in through here. So we've got another another group there, which I can take to there, but I can also bring it up, either up to there to sort of take that location, or move it across to here. I think we'll actually move it out this way. Now we didn't claim that, which is interesting. It's a high mountain where there's actually some groups living in the actual high mountains there. We sort of need to keep at least one of these back. So I've only really got like one other. Just move these across to just claim territory. By the way, one thing I do have selected, if you are new to the game, is I do actually have show grid on. So I've got the grid, I've got the show color, which will then just sort of tint the like the actual color of who actually owns something. And the most important one is the operational logistics. So when I have that one turned on, it colors it in different tones here. You can see it changes from sort of like green to yellow. That means that the operational logistics are difficult to go down through, like across to this location and to this location here. But the road is still actually pretty good. The reason for that is because we don't control, back in through this other side, if I go back to the assets and click on the actual hex itself, we don't control the transport hub. So we've got very, very limited transport abilities from this particular hub itself. I'm just going to stay where I am. I don't know if there's marauders nearby. I need to keep at least one unit back in through here. So I'm just going to keep that one there. We've only got 2 political points left available to us at this point in time. That's going to be difficult for us. So the next thing we want to be doing, excuse me, is to, if you do want to keep on pushing out these borders as much as we possibly can, but we have now taken that. We haven't taken this. And we don't actually have anything. We do want to be building in here. And it'll just build a road straight there if we go and start to build that one, but that's going to be fairly important. So we've got a few different things we can actually then go and do with our building. If we just go back across to the build menu, actually, where is that? In through here. So we've got construct. So if I'm over this one through here, just go to construct in through this other zone. So different things we can do. We can. There's already an agricultural facility. Now, we cannot build xeno-agricultural facilities or normal agricultural facilities anyway because there's no atmosphere. So we could nationalise the private asset, the dome farm that's actually there, if we need to, but that's going to be okay at this point in time. Now, because it's privately run, we don't have to pay much of the upkeep. For mining, we can get wind traps, which will then give me some water. I don't know, actually, that doesn't seem right. Yeah, I don't think we get much here because there's no atmosphere. So I think that's useless, even though it's allowing us to go and do it. But you can see through here, one thing we are going to need is ice mining at that other location. So we need to go back to that one. That's going to be probably very important for us to get that up and running fairly quickly. Energy, we do get this. We can put a scavenging furnace out to get 35. We can't use an organic furnace because we don't have any trees, so we can't do that one. Industry-wise, we could eventually build an Industry 1, which we're going to be needing to do. And the biofuel refinery as well will be something that we will need to go and establish once we start to get tanks. And so this one here, choose through food. So once we get our food up and running and we have a whole lot of extra food, then we're going to be okay. We're getting 20 food extra at this point in time. That will change though, but we will need to get our own refineries and things built with that one. Government-wise, we can get the High Command Level 2, which will then give me more bureaucratic points, but I don't have the energy for this one. The energy we have is, we've only got 20 energy left to spend. Bureaucratic officers would also be useful to get the 50 back in through there. This is one that we can go and build, not quite with the industrial points that we have. So I can't quite get that in one turn, but that's something we'll be looking to try to get, particularly once we get the Economic Council in. And then finally, we've got logistics, where we've got the rail stations, the bunkerisation, the truck station that's currently there. Is we definitely want to be taking that ourselves and controlling that. So I'll leave that one where that is. Now the other thing we have is if we go to the strat cards that we actually picked up, we've got proposed peace, nation. I can recruit a junior, but I don't have the political points to do that. That's going to be something we probably want to do next turn, I think. We've got You're a Liar, which will then give our word score a negative 25%, but we do get 3 fate points. If we have a look at the other cards, in the zone we do actually have a docile AI. And I might throw this one in now, actually. And and just execute this stratagem. I don't think there's anything else. These other ones we're not going to really get. There's a fate stratagem. So troops morale limit plus 30 points higher if a leader is within 2 hexes. We don't need that one. And propaganda. Yeah, we don't need either of those. So I don't think I'll change the word score just yet, but I will go to zones and play out the docile AI. So we'll end up with an old Galactic Republic sort of style walker. These actually can go anywhere on the map. So we'll execute that stratagem.
Roger that.
So we've got 10 dormant sentinels have managed to approach, enter, and control them. They've been immediately deployed. So this is actually like this is sort of found them in the wasteland. So here they are down in here. And so I can actually start to move them. What I want to do is just make sure if there are scavenging units out and about, I want to get rid of them. I'll just right click. They're not very good at scouting, but we'll just keep them sort of moving around at this stage. So these are walkers, which if we have a look again at the overview, there'll be near where my mouse is, there's actually walkers just below tanks. So you can sort of see what they can then go and do as well. So walkers are fairly handy, particularly for attacking into mountains and things like that. They're good at that. They're good at that. All right, so we've got those established. We didn't get Bensdorf, but we did get Trosto. These will then give me, when I end the turn, they will then give me a bit of a bonus coming back in through there. So let's just go and end our turn here. These will start to expand. Oh, there we go. We're being attacked already. We killed 400 infantry. So there is actually a group of marauders that are operating from that location. And Trosto, we found 10 GR Velociraptors. So this allowed us to let our reserve recruits form. So this is a good one for us. A very, very good start. So we'll just go back to the map. Actually, I'll just go and click. We've got Medal of Merit, Shadow Spy. That's what we've really got. Now, this is big. So we got ourselves a special tank. So that we actually happened to find this one sitting in the ruins of this little town. And this is why getting these towns early is very, very important. Now, they haven't taken everything that we need from in here. So we can still keep on sort of pushing up and trying to claim different territory. I'll just go and move this one up as well. And so we'll start to sort of push into this location. The Velociraptor in through here, we're going to be needing to go in with a lot of infantry to help with this particular one. But this one here with the where Trosto with the free folk, the Velociraptor, if we have a quick look and see what it's actually got. So these are Velociraptors. These have got 390 hit points versus infantry. They're very, very good against armor. They actually don't hit that hard against the soft attacks, but they certainly attack better than they defend. And then they've got, against actual hard attacks, they're very, very good. The Ancient Galactic Republic equipment taken into your service is a medium tank. Its main armament is a light laser gun. It has been issued with 25mm liquid armor. It's got a nuclear engine, so it doesn't need fuel. So this one here actually doesn't have to do anything with fuel. It does actually have very, very high recon as well. So we're going to be able to use this even just to help with the recon. Because it's so bad at defending, I don't really want it to be doing too much other than just sort of like claiming territory. But it's only got one of them in it, like one formation, which means it's not going to be able to push back the borders. So that's a little bit of a problem. Now, the force that actually attacked us back in through here, if we have a quick look and see, we've got 4 decisions, but if we go to the reports, and I always forget where this actually is, there should be a report there for what actually happened. Now, we're respected. I might play that card fairly soon, actually, just before we sort of do too much, and pick up the extra fate points for when we do need them. I don't want to be struggling with the word score. Yeah, actually, no, currently 50. That's going to take us down to 25. Yeah, maybe I'll let it go up a little bit before we do anything else too much in through here. Anyway, where the hell is it? Technology, formation, models. I thought there was like a treasure found. It's okay. Zones. Yeah, I'm not seeing it there actually. There should be. There is actually now a thing in the game where you can sort of look back at the battles, but I forget where it actually is. I don't think it's under this history. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so we can see through here. This is just a bit of a summary, but we've got buggies in through this one, artillery, militia, and trucks in our particular little group, and so these actually did defend against 1,000 rifle militia coming out of this particular location. So we'll sort of keep that one where that is at this point in time. The others, that's the only sort of battle that we actually had. So that's sort of the only one that really sort of came through there. But we can see what that's made up of. So the attack came in from rifle militia. Freeze Erin is saying it's under letterbox. Hang on, let's have a look. And we'll go back out to the map. Reports, letterbox. No, it's not there. No, I'm not sure what you mean. Look under letterbox. Yeah, I thought there was somewhere. Supreme Command Council. This is just a summary of what we end up getting. Economic Council is now kicking in without anyone in charge of it just yet. Right, 14 points. We'll see what we have to spend this one on. Claystrom. Yeah, it doesn't go through the actual specifics of the attack. HQs maybe. And nothing showing there for details. Yeah, I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure where that kicks in. I know that there's somewhere where there's a summary. Yeah, so me, myself, and I was on the history screen. There is a report button. Now maybe that's it. Let's just go back. History. Ah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah, so it does give us the overview as to what actually happened. So the attacker readiness was started off at 100. This is a multiplier for their abilities. Ended up with 78. We started off with 91. Ended up with 91. Their experience stayed the same. Ours went up by 8, which is good. The morale, their morale went down with that attack to 44. We stayed at 50. And then the entrenchment, because they attacked us, they had 0. We had 11. So I can just stay where I am and even become even better defended, against them. And so these are non-aligned forces. The units in through there, 400 rifle militia were lost. Yeah, thanks for that. This is exactly what I was looking for. The troops involved. So this is the 1,000 rifle militia versus our side of things. So we've got the rifle militia buggies, and now that's it's got miss there, 13 and 4. I'm not sure. This is the attackers' hits and misses. So they missed essentially 17 times when they attacked, and we defended. So over the course of what we did, the trucks didn't. They stayed at the back of the field. The 200 rifle militia that we actually had with us ended up missing 16 times. They pinned down one unit to stop them from attacking, forced 3 to retreat, got 1 kill, and so that's one of the 400. And so the total hits that they got then when we go pinned, retreat, and kill, that's 5 hits that were then total hits that then came back through. The militia buggies that we ended up having, we got one group of buggies in through here. They missed 6 times but did get 2 kills, and so that was good. And then the irregular artillery also defended, so it missed twice, pinned 1, killed 1, so two more hits back in through there. That's essentially what happened with the attack. These all form different lines. So the trucks and the artillery stay at what's called the back line, essentially of the actual attack, whereas the rifle militia and the buggies will be in the front line. And what has to happen is when an attacker attacks, they have like we can't see round by round with this, I don't think. Yeah, this is the modifiers for it. We won't go through this, but it's interesting. Here we go. Yeah. So the attacker's average combat modifiers over 4 combat rounds. Now, the way that the combat rounds work, and we'll see this when we do our own attacks, is the first combat round, if you're attacking with infantry, which is what they were, is like a negative 75% attack because they're attacking across like an open plain. So you can sort of imagine them attacking across that. I don't even think there's an escarpment there. Actually, I think they literally were just attacking from the mountain. So attacking from the mountain won't actually give them any benefit. But they start off with a negative 75, and so the overall modifiers that they end up having is the attack startup is negative 65, and through here, this is the average for each round. So round 1 is negative 75, round 2 is negative 50, and then it sort of goes. It should be 0 at that point, but the overall modifiers for that, for some reason, is saying negative 65 with what actually does happen through there. They do get plus 25% experience. Sorry, that gives them a bit of a bonus. The maximum attack to negative 4. The caliber matrix, this was mentioned before, their caliber is about the same, so they have a slight discrepancy. That's mainly because of the armoured cars. Our armoured cars will have a better ability than what these are not our normal armoured cars, by the way. These are the militia armoured cars, which aren't quite as good. And then their readiness wasn't quite as high as well. Our readiness also wasn't great. And so and if you have a look at that's the defender for us, we end up with again, different modifiers back and through here for each of the actual unit types. So it's extremely detailed with what it actually does do. And we can see there it's these modifiers, which is why, yes, there is an RNG factor, but it's not completely wild. You can get sort of like wild numbers, but they're not typically what's going to happen. Like we end up with, for example, because we got attacked, defender is hidden. We ended up plus 100% in through this other side. So we actually were, they didn't have the recon to be able to attack us. This also shows the importance of recon. So we ended up with a massive number here for being able to defend. And so essentially the recon that we had was extremely, they had extremely low recon just using those infantry. I should try to explain how that works as well. Anyway, that's essentially it's quite good to try to analyze these basic ones, which will then give you a much better feel for when the big attacks go in. So in this case, we've got this group is now from the mountains. They attacked down into the plain. Couldn't really do much against us. And so the group that we actually have through there, if I just go back into back to the map again and have a look at this particular group, there's our 200 rifle militia back in through here, and these are again not going to be typically what we have, and so these only have an attack of 20 and a defense of 40, not like our normal troops. Our normal troops have 50 and 100, so these are nowhere near as strong as our actual infantry. So these are mixed infantry with a variety of improvised and low-tech weaponry, equipped with improvised environmental suits. So these are pretty damn weak. They've only got 60 hit points, and they've got attack against armour is 10 to 20. Now, the Marauders will be similar to these when they're attacking us, I would think. Not that we really know that exactly, but we'd be able to look at it from the report. And so in this case, these guys only have a recon of 1. They don't get to see all that much. If we have a look at they've got the trucks, we've got the artillery. So the artillery here actually does good defence. 80 defence is good. Again, these sit in the back rung of where things are. They're in the guns group. So guns will tend to be behind infantry and armour in the way it works. These move as artillery. They'll be on the trucks, and so the trucks are sort of transporting them around a little bit. In this sense, we've got with what they're doing, that's all okay. They use a fair bit of ammo with what they're doing, but defending, it's only 1.5 ammo, so it's not too dramatic. Then we've got the little militia buggies back and through here. Now these have got 80 points versus non-infantry, but 60 versus infantry. So again, not a real lot of ability to protect themselves, not like, again, our own buggies will have. But they do actually have an attack of 120, but a defense of 80. So they still defend fairly well, which is what we saw there with the kills that they were getting. This is against hard targets, which we're not actually going up against at this stage. And again, good-ish recon at 15, and so the guys in here weren't able to sort of do too much. So I'm going to leave those where they are. What I want to keep on doing, there's another little town over here, but I'm not going to leave these guys not covered. So I'm just going to move. I can move this one out. I'll just go back to M. I must have pressed I've pressed WASD all the time in this game. Don't think I'm not really strong enough to take this on just yet, so we'll come back for that one. We've already moved that one. This one here can move up. I want to be very close to what this one can then go and do. I can eventually move up the escarpment, but let's just move this one up. And then the Velociraptor. I can move into the ruins. If there is a group in those ruins, and I don't actually have the ability to really sort of see what's going on. We're not at war with these guys yet. Now I can see that there's nothing in there. This is important. Recon, actually, I've got 28 recon in there. Actually, no, maybe I still really can't. I'm just thinking about whether I should move up or not. I think I'll just move down at this stage. I think I prefer to have these other guys in here, and then we eventually move up other forces. So I just want to block them off, and I want to block off the AI from being able to extend too quickly down into this location as well. These guys here, I'm just going to move them up. I'll keep on sort of pushing out the borders and sort of just start to control these. And this one here, I'm just going to leave that one where that is, and hopefully they'll keep on attacking us. I could try to get Migron, but it's going to be, and we also have Golzo. You saw how valuable it was to get hold of these locations, but yeah, it's not going to help us. We can't go into the mountains because of the vehicles that we've got. All right, I'll leave that one there. So coming back into here, I need to keep some protection back into this location here with these guys. Yeah, they can't really move up. I would like to move them out. It's always dangerous to leave things unprotected, but it looks like it's pretty safe. So I'm just going to move them up and away from the town. So this is a bit dangerous. Let's go to our decisions now and have a look and see what we've got for this turn. We've got the national budget. Now this isn't going to cost us anything. Now this is the Supreme Command Council versus the Economic Council. We've got org decisions. So we've got, this guy here has got a suitability rating of 6, but he's a level 1 guy. I don't like the idea of that. The diplomatic decisions, we do actually have Turtefel demands regular relations. They're wanting us to respect their borders. Now each one of these is going to cost me 1 political point, so it doesn't matter what I do there. This one wants us to do it, but there's no real cost to us to do this one, to go negative here. I think I'm just going to go no. It's not war. It just means that we're going to still have open borders. So Turtefel is this location here. I think, again, if you have a look at the strategic map, yeah, that's Turtefel there. So they're wanting us to respect their borders, but we don't want to do that because their borders really do take all of this no man's land through here, and I want to claim as much of this as possible. So that's going to be important. Yeah, if we go, if I just have a look here and just see, I just wanted to see. Yeah, see, this is interesting. So if we were down in here, for example, and we're down on the low level of the escarpment, when we actually look at this rocky plains, you'll see there that it's not actually listed. The actual plains are not listed here at all. That river crossing, because there's no benefit to be on the low level. It's only a benefit to be on this top level. If I go to there, we then get to see the river crossings for that for the southwest. The way it sort of works. I think it's a very small moon, says Union ID. Yes, it is. Mr. Joe saying, hi, Daz, happy Sunday. It's Monday for me. And Free Zerin is saying, that's like an hour of ads, so that's no good. I'm sorry about that one. Yeah, how big is the world? We're playing on small moon. It's a small moon that we're playing on. So keep all those where they are. We're not at war with them. They will start to get pissed off because of what we've done. The recon in here is not enough. If I just go and have a bit of a look at that one, we need 62 recon in there to be able to see what's going on. Now I've still got 14 here. Is that all the decisions? Yeah, we've got to set these up as well. That doesn't cost me anything. All right. So a lot of these don't cost me anything. I can go back to my strat cards. We're going to go to the nation and we're going to recruit a junior for 7 of the points.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
And we hope that that junior is going to be good quality. Oh, look at this. Yes, he is. Cap level 4. Cypher Mitch site, who was going to be renamed to... Who was the one that wanted to be the... yeah, well, look at this. Intelligence extremely high. Coming in, he's 17 years old. Cypher Mitch site. So I can rename him, I think. I think they've allowed us to rename them now. History, compare, skill log. It's funny, I thought we could actually rename these. Yeah, there we go, rename. So I'll just go back to the DasDemptions. Just bear with me, guys. So we had Kiro ACC. So I'll just call it Kiro. And Began is also wanting one, and Union ID as well. So when we get the military set up, so this will be Kiro, last name ACC. There we are. So Kiro ACC is going to be our reserve pool member. He will then be the... so we've lucked out there because I really didn't want to use a cap 1. And even trying to remove the advisor, it's only a cap 2, but cap 4 in this role is extremely important. So that's going to work out very, very well. So we've got that one. We'll just go back out now to the map and get rid of go back to the decisions. And so we need a new leader. And so in this case, you can see the suitability rating is lower, but he will learn faster. And so we'll appoint this one. This is...
Yes, sir.
It's been appointed. And so the relation here goes up. So so that's good. So he's actually in that role. The Economic Council task priorities. These are things we're going to need to get prospecting up and running. Economic policies are not as important. The way it sort of works is we need to figure out like the discovery of different research and the research. Whatever I end up with, these two will be pulled together. So if I have like high research but low discovery, it's going to all go into discovery anyway if I'm not doing any research. So I can put discovery down to 0 and then improve my research ability to say 50. So I can actually sort of do it that way and lock those two in. That way we're going to... when it's time to research, we can then put a lot of the points we have coming in into research, but it will then just go into discovery at the start. Now we need these solar panels. This is really what we need fairly urgently. Prospecting, we're going to go into... I want prospecting up fairly high. So I think we'll go 40 and then 10 with the economic policies. Maybe 35. Somewhere in there, maybe just leave it there, I think. So we'll leave that as the as what we end up having. But ultimately, the discoveries are going to be very, very important, but prospecting is as well. So we'll just go and confirm that.
Yes, sir.
All right. Then we have national decisions, the budgets. Now we've got 67%. This is what's giving us our political points at this point in time. But we will need a little bit more. I think I'll just take it up to say 40, 60. So we'll just go and confirm. That's going to upset Jack Ibrahim, the Supreme Commander. And I'm going to say no to this.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
All right, so we'll go that way. And we will need to start to build up units. So if I go and if we have another quick look in through here, we are actually making food. And the water's not doing anything because don't have anything that's actually draining the water. So it's not super urgent that I build the aspect down through here. I've got 110 now of these industrial points. You know, the fact that we don't need it, I think I might actually go and try to pick up one of the other buildings for in here to start with. So if we just go back to construction. I mean, food is actually not bad at the moment for what we need to do. If we go back to government, the bureaucratic officers, we get these in one turn. It's just 190. So unfortunately, the industrial points are just going to take a bit of time to bring these up. But they do give me a big, big boost this way. These are too expensive. Industry. Energy, yeah, we don't really need that. Mining, the wind traps. Yeah, we've got the ice mine. Again, too expensive for me at this point in time. Yeah, I can't even afford to do that one. So I'm just going to go back to government, and I can't quite afford this one just yet. It's going to take me a fair few turns. I've only got 110 industry. I might wait until I've actually got the industry points, and then go and get it. That way, we just sort of keep. Yeah, we're not going to rush too much with getting those, but we do want to get the bureaucratic points up, just so that we can start to get that research happening fairly quickly. I'm going to keep these guys where they are. These, if we have a quick look at the second Claystron mobile battalion, these will then start to, you can see down through there, action points 100% of all their points. Readiness is 100 at this point in time. Morale is good. Experience 27. Their entrenchment is 27. That will slowly get a little bit better, but that's the average of their entrenchment. Their HQ power, they've got the OHQ is controlling them very, very well, and then we have the supply received in through here as well, 100% of supply. Now they will have used up a little bit of their supply for the bullets that they just used, and so that will be a bit of supply going back in for that. If we have a bit of a look, we'll sort of see fuel they needed a little bit coming in, food they needed coming in, and ammo they needed coming in as well, just with that attack going in, but they're all fine. So they've got the fuel in through there. Next out through here is the yellow, so that's going to have a little bit less to control. That one has moved. I think they've all now moved, so we can really sort of end the turn here. Yeah, that's good. They're moving out and around. We have one decision and 63 reports waiting for you. Okay. 2 new stratagems, defense and bonus. Spend 100 credits and reallocate to the leader as a bonus payment. We don't want to do that one. We're sort of keeping our own here. I've been looking at the money. We're expanding. That's good. Metal is a key resource. Yep, we need to find some. So we'll just we need to sort of keep on claiming territory. And that one still hasn't been claimed. I will move that one up. Just keep on moving these out and about. I'm going to take a punt that there's nothing in here. Good. That got us into those ruins. So that's, again, a very, very defensive location that we now have. I'm just going to keep the tanks there, even though I don't really want them. Like, we're not at war. At this point in time, I'm happy enough for the tanks to stay where they are. And we will need to sort of start to now bring other units back up. We've only got one decision this turn. So adventurers discover special location. So we've discovered a radio contact from Hex 32-2. Let's have a look and see where that X is. So if I just go and click on something, this is 1311. That's 12.4, 12.2. Oh, there it is. So this one over through here. And so what is the asset that they've got? Hot baths, which is just gives us a bit of happiness. So they're, this particular militia group has actually found this one. Now they're a long way off. There's some other ruins back out through there as well. If we have a quick look at the decision through this other side, adventurers discover special location. We've received a radio contact from 32-2, a private expedition by some of our people have established control over this special hex. They're requesting that we help them hold on to it. Will you make a public commitment that the hex will be held? And I'm going to say no, because it's just too far away. Yeah, they should not have acted without our permission. So, and again, the so KACC, Kiro is actually is in favour of saying no, which is fine. So heart goes down, but enforcement goes up.
Yes, sir.
Done.
Roger that, sir.
All right, so that's actually fine, because there's no way we can hold on to that. But can I save these guys? And I don't even know if I can do that. So we're going to move these back towards our location. We can see there's more marauders back out through these plains. These aren't going to last. They're going to starve before before anything actually happens with them. What else do we need to do? That's all pretty good where we are there, actually, in terms of everything that we've got. Yeah, I would just need to grab that. Is pretty much what we need to go and do. So we'll be at the border here very, very soon. We've got that one, but I'd like to get Ola if we can. Let's have a quick look and see what happens if we actually raise a formation. And I'll just have a look back in here. So I'm not going to do any with the OHQs at the start. I don't think if I just go to brigade level, you can see there we don't have enough to be able to bring in the light infantry, the machine gun brigade, or the motorised light infantry brigade, particularly the motorised. But 23%, I just don't have anywhere near enough of these. So if I just even at brigade level, we just can't bring in any light infantry. If I go to independent, I can then I can bring in an infantry battalion, which would be good, but it's going to chew up all of my hard-earned industrial points, and I don't want to be doing that one just yet. So I'll just keep everything going. 40% of the buggies can be done because we need 350 industrial points to bring those in. So we can't grab those just yet, and that would be probably one of the ones that I would like to be getting at the start. I'll just go and cancel that one. Yeah, everything else is actually just sort of thumping along, so we'll just leave that one where that is. And so really there's nothing much for us to do at this early stage. And there will be recon, there'll be prospecting going on, trying to find some metals and things. Could even look at establishing in construction in through here for the mining. We could go with a recycling facility if we wanted to, but this is we can't afford the industrial points yet again. It's just too hard. Too hard. And the money, we don't have enough money for anything. We could go and look at trade and look at selling stuff off. Now the food is not worth anything. Water is worth a fair bit. That will ultimately be a good one for us to grab so we can sell it off. The rare earths, we get 11.28. If I go and grab those, I can get 315 more credits for selling off. I only have, I've got 76. I could sell off 28. The market only wants 28. But we could actually go and do that, which would then give me a lot more money. And that's about the right sort of price. These are all going to be good. These are all going to be fairly good. So this is between traders and the first SHQ. Yeah, they've got 946 credits available for purchasing. Let's have a look and see how much machines are worth. 33 credits. Yeah, this is if we had to buy in food or water, that's actually not too bad. We can't buy industrial points. I'll just cancel that for a second. And if we have a look at the workshop, to build machines is going to cost me 20, 20, 20, basically. So 20 metal, 20 rare metals, and 20 industrial points. So to see what that, like at the moment, we're reasonably good with metal. I can build the machines that I need when I do need them. I don't need them just yet, but we will need them at some point. Like I'm going to be needing a couple of them at some stage. So that would be 40 metal, 40 rare metal, and 40 industrial points. But so the industrial points then they're just too valuable to me. The industrial points. So I think we're going to have to pretty much just control territory for a little while until we can start to bring in troops. Then the troops will start to drain the food that we end up having. So, and again, we need to get industrial points up. So we're going to probably need to get industry up and running fairly quickly as well. There's a lot to do. These are hard maps doing it this way. Just need to turn here. Oh, there we go. So they're cutting in behind us. We lost 200 infantry. of units has supply problems, which is this one in through here. So we have to be careful, because now they're getting close to being able to take this location. So they didn't just sit there; they sort of went for it. Just missed that. Would love to have gotten that location, but we just can't. So we've got Ola. Move that one down. And they've been able to move in fairly tightly. If we have a look at Rorio, yeah, we don't know anything at all about them, really. Well, I'm going to have to get out of there. And we're really going to have to go back in here and just sort of stop these from being able to move around. Oh, there we go. We've got another group that's come back up into here. Now that's interesting. These are actually a different colour, so this is going to be something completely different. You've still got the 200 there. Where do we lose the units? Let's have a look and see. They've got 200 still. 600, 500 and 100. So I'm not sure where we lost the 200. Let's have a look and see the history. There was a battle. Oh, up there. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. So these guys are sort of out and about. These have got irregular tanks are up in through this other side. So these aren't going to be able to make it. They're not going to be able to do all that well. Actually, I should have gone the other way and grabbed that. May still be able to do it. Let's just go back out. Let's see if we can somehow take this location. But they're not going to make their way through. Just going to look mountain. It's going to stay where we are there. So we're entrenching like up to 42 now at this location. We don't know what this is. At some point I'm going to need to get units, but I'm going to need infantry before I can really go and do that. That should be enough to block this off. We're now sort of playing fairly defensively in this region. I'll don't know whether to stay where I think I'll stay where I am here. I could technically cut them off, which isn't really going to be all that valuable, but I'll stay where I am. The other forces aren't moving down. They will eventually, but they're not yet. We did take this one though, which is good, so we get bonuses for that in the next phase. Got two decisions to have a look at. So Turner wants a special exemption. So this is from Gus Turner, the governor. So my son is soon eligible to be drafted into our military. However, he is physically weak. Hang on, how old is Gus? 51. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I was just going to see he's probably like 17 or 18 himself, but no, that makes sense. However, he is physically weak and mentally not suitable for the horrors of war. I'd like you to make him a sense and allow him to pursue a career in art. So if we do that one, democracy goes up, heart goes up. If we go no, there's no exemptions. It's going to make him unhappy, but it'll make this guy happy. I wish I would show you what the impact is on the person asking. And then we're approaching it, goes even further. I think I'm going to allow the exemption.
Roger that.
See, it's positive for him, and that's, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do favours. We've got 29 of these now. So Turtefel demands resolution of relations. So this is actually where we do need to now decide what we're going to do. So Turtefel is upset about the continued unclear relations between us. High Leader of Turtefel demands that we show our colours. So I will go and be friends because I can't afford to be enemies with them at this stage. So I'm going to go that way.
Roger that, sir.
That way we now do have an actual a defined border with them. So we're going to go and click on OK. And so you'll see there that border now changes to green. And what I could have done, I could have blocked that off. That was a mistake. I could have actually pushed it into there, and actually surround and then say yes, and that would have really made it difficult for them for the future. that was a lost opportunity, big lost opportunity there. Oh well, that's a shame. I mean, I could save scum. It's a bit exploitive to do that. Actually, no, I won't do it. That's okay. We've still got these ruins, so we can still set up for when we want to do our attack. So I'm happy enough with that. It's just that we haven't blocked this off. So the other side could come through if they had to. Okay, let's continue on. So we've got the. I keep them back where they are. They're okay where they are. We can start to. Actually, this is all part of their territory as well in here. So that we can't go into that location. We're still actually okay here as well. That one still sort of works. Everything is looking pretty good. So we're still now just waiting for the... actually, one thing I did want to check was in the reports. I always usually leave 1% in Discovery. And I just wanted to make sure that Discovery was being pushed. Yeah, so you can see there the 20 BP that are coming back into the Economic Council, 10 of those are going into Discovery at this point in time. And the Discovery investment so far is at 34 BP. We need to get this one up to 200 before we sort of just start to make Discovery. So I need to get my bureaucratic points up a fit. Like that's also another thing we have to work on. We've got a lot of things we need to do here. We've now got 173 industrial points. So I might go back to Claystron. And what we'll do is we'll have a quick look at the... by the way, when I click on that one, and we've still got the supply tab selected, like black is showing through here, which means that there were a couple of replacements which were requested but couldn't be built, and so that is the two that we lost in through here. So they couldn't actually go back and resupply them. Not that they've got any anyway, but that's what that little black area is down through there. Everything else is looking pretty good. Back and through this other side, we didn't quite get all the stuff moving across. We delivered 20, but there was 34 requested. That will be the fuel and the food that was requested from this unit, where they didn't receive anything this particular turn because there was a pickup issue. Unit was not able to find a pickup point on a road because they were caught in here at that stage. That was blocked off, so they were surrounded, but they will be okay next turn. Now, what else do we need to do here? We've got the... that's all done. We'll just go back into not the workshop. I'm just going to go back into Claystron and just go back into the construction. So industry, 3 rounds. It's very expensive for me to get industry, but I'm going to need it. But not yet. So the first thing we want to do is get the bureaucratic points. So I can get this in one turn for 190, and I'll now be able to afford it. I'm getting 32 industrial points per turn. I'm up to 173. 200 metal I've got. It's just one turn, and then we've got workers there. So I'm going to start construction of this one.
Roger that.
That will then give me a big boost to my bureaucratic points every turn, and that will then sort of help with things. So let's just go on into our turn here. Now there's movement. You can see there's movement around all over the place. They've attacked us again. We killed 200 of them. So your organisation generated 1 new stratagems. Only you offer protection. So you get more credits if you sell more items. Traders through the trade order. Yep, that's okay. We're still doing okay with our money. We're just sort of middling along. We don't know what these guys are. This area, if we have a quick look at the strategic map, what is this? Landing territory. Now the fact it's a territory, it could be anything. It could be robots, could be arachnids, it could be anything. There's backstories for all of these as well, but in this instance, they're not just, these are not sort of basic units. I'll just go back to the movement again. We don't know what we're looking at in through there. I'll keep them sort of where they are, back up that way. Depending on what these are, this could become quite tricky. We are still, we've entrenched as much as we possibly can. Now the 42 is an average, and because trucks don't entrench and buggies don't entrench. So it's only the artillery and the militia that have actually entrenched at this location. Now we did take Ola, that means we should have, actually we didn't get anything from that, did we? Now this guy is now on the march. These guys aren't yet. I can't move through there anymore. So I'm going to move this one down, just to sort of close off. Whatever this group this is, they're going to be dangerous. They could be anything. Like they could be just mutants. If they're just mutants, that won't be too bad. But depending on what they are, it's going to be interesting to see what we end up with in through there. One decision, so policy speech. So the goal is that the average quality of life in the zones reach at least 7 points. Mining assets reach at least 1 level. That's something we're going to be doing anyway. So that's enforcement goes up by +5, or bureaucratic assets reach at least 2 levels. Now we're going to the bureaucratic assets. We've got one already. This will be the second one. So we're already building that one. So I'm going to go that way. I'll just go with mind.
Yes.
We've sort of taken a few mind options over the with the decisions that we've got. I'm not bothering to look at the profiles at this stage, but eventually they will sort of kick in. This group in through here, I can afford to sort of leave these alone now, and then just come back in. And we do have good fuel. These will then chomp a lot of the fuel up. We're now looking back into here. So we can't actually attack into the mountains unless we just have infantry. So we're going to need to get more infantry anyway, but we do need to keep on spotting. So we now have got recon. We've got recon of 41. We really need 92, but we are seeing enough in there to see the rifle militia that's left. So there's just 2 of them. And we can see there, these are better quality than ours. These have got low-tech weaponry and improvised environmental suits, but their hit points are certainly much, much better than what we've got. And even their attacks are better than our basic militia forces. All right, so they're more similar to actually our actual units that do the fighting. So this little mountain range is quite a defensive little mountain range that they've got there. Right, we'll leave that one where that is, and again we'll sort of see that we've now chomping through a lot of the industrial points. We may not get this in one turn. We've only got 14 left at this stage. Actually, that should still be enough, I think. If we have a quick look and see the assets in here. So we are building this one. Yeah, there's 0.1 turn left, so we didn't quite get that one. Let's just go and end our turn again. Oh, I forgot to move this one. Yep, so we've now got 2 levels. That's exactly what we had promised our subjects. Soldier morale is low. We still don't know what these guys are. Yeah, we can't see them. Now we can. All right, we have the second landing feral. So these are from landing, and if we have a look across, this is where landfall was originally. And so we can see through here that we've actually got landing is the ruins where they've come from. And so these are ferals from this particular location. And if we have a look at these guys, these are the ferals are especially viable a strain of mutants that are fast and furious. They seem to be able to live off the land without any problems. And so these can live on this moon without actually needing suits. They only have 70 hit points, and they do actually only fight at 40-40. Through here, and they actually attack poorly against armoured cars and things. So they're not going to be too much of a trouble. There's only 400 of them. So these are like landing edge militia is what they're essentially called. So that's not too bad. Actually, that's not a bad one for us to have. They will try to expand into our territory, but they're not going to be able to. Yes, we're not going to have too many concerns once we do get established here. We're now making the industrial points back again, so 33 per turn. But the big thing is we now actually have a lot more bureaucratic points coming in. So we've still only got 20 coming in the current turn, but next turn this will go up from a total of 51 essentially is what we've got coming in at this point in time. Or next turn, it said next turn bureaucratic points is 53. It'd be more than that, because we should be getting another big batch of them coming in from what's happening there. I don't know why it's thinking that's the that's the case. Training opportunity for the 2nd Claystron Mobile Battalion. So we can form commandos, or we can turn the best prospect into a veteran sergeant. These actually have different bonuses that they can then go and give to the different units, but I'm not going to really worry too much about what they do. So I'll just go and grab the, I'll grab enforcement.
Wilco.
Just because we are also trying to get that one up as well. This is all pretty secure now that these borders have been established. I'll still keep that tank back there. There's no real reason to bring it down this way. And I just want to make sure that we control this border here. Just have at least have a presence there in case they turn nasty. But we need the recon. So yeah, there's a lot of things we do require back in this particular zone. I'll just keep them all where they actually are. We're going to need infantry and we're going to need recon forces. So we're going to have to start to build up fairly soon. But again, we need the industry to be able to do it. So it's a sort of slow build at the start here. We also need money. Yeah, so they're now starting to close in. Admin level has risen to level 4. Now, because we're playing on hard difficulty, we don't get any fate points for that one, or fate packs. Metal production, yep, we do need to find metal. We haven't found any yet. We'll just dismiss that. So metal is very, very low at this point in time. Now they've all wandered off. And I want to get this. We're getting outside the territory that we can control in here. That's all okay. We can't really move too much in here yet until we build up. We're at 81 there, and we haven't discovered we haven't found any metals, which sort of surprises me. I thought we would have found some by now. I don't think there's any on the map that we can locate anywhere. Can't get to there just yet. These guys are going to starve before we can really do too much. Yeah, they've got metal up there already. They've got water mines being built. They've got aircraft there for whatever reason. I don't know why that would bother with that. That seems to be a strange decision. They have as well. They've got metal over there. They've got their water mine being built already. So we haven't done ours yet. So we're a little bit behind. But we don't have the industrial points to be able to really spend on it just yet. So we're down to 183. I'm just going to keep looking at the money every so often, and then we'll sort of figure things out when we need to. So we'll end our turn here. It's only different playing without actually starting off with any actual forces. Recruit junior, recruit spy. Dismiss, and yep, we've got a unit that's now been cut off by the others. Now we've got Migron in through here. Hopefully we can keep hold of that. Just move that one back to the escarpment. Oh, we've got ourselves another big group of militia forces. So these are groups with artillery, lots of rifles, machine guns, but these are still purely just militia. But this is a good group that we've actually now got ourselves. This group as well can purely just go up into the mountains. Because these ones have got trucks, they can't go to the mountains. National budget, I'm just going to go no changes there.
Yes.
Good. Now, Military Research Council would be another good one for us to try to just get more research. The Interior Council will allow us to pick up better people, which would actually be good. But and also the actually Staff Council would be for that one. Interior Council will ultimately get me money because I can then sort of go and get more taxation. It's not super important. This would be great. Model design, we don't really need that one at this stage. I'm thinking the Interior Council possibly will be the one that would give us the, at least we'd then be able to get our money situation under control. Yeah, because we really are. I'll go that way, and I can then put one of those low-level guys into that position. So that will hopefully work out okay. Kira's saying, have you ever tried the science fiction game Aurora? Yeah, Aurora 4X. It's similar complex to Shadow Empire, but more focused on strategy and space combat tactics. Yeah, I've played it, but I have never really actually recorded. I've started recording a few times, but have never followed through with it. So it's sort of one of those more difficult type games. Now this is these guys are trying to make inroads into our territory. We should be able to cut them off. But we'll have to sort of maybe go and deal with these guys here as well. But they'll just keep on they come charging through. But I just hope that we can keep hold of Migron and just pick up whatever loot there is in there for this turn. So we've got that one through there. Everything else is going well. Up to 116 again. Let's have a look and see what else we can then go and build. We will need to go and get this water mine at some point. We haven't really had to make use of it, but we are now running out of. We're now running out of food. So, just very, very slightly. We're feeding all of these guys. You know, I might actually look at building this one. So this is the ice mine facility, which requires two machines and 195 per turn over 2 rounds. So we need about 400 industrial points. If I went with industry, this is 3 rounds. Again, way too expensive for me. So unfortunately, we just don't have anything we can do with industry to boost industry. Industry is the thing that's going to really be slowing us down for a long period of time. Here they come. Here we go. We've now found some metal deposits. 2 new stratagems. Yeah, down to 141. Got one leader that doesn't like us, but that's okay. Yeah, we lost that one, so we didn't get anything from that. Just going to sit there for a little while. They're going to disappear. They're completely out of supply. There we go. The Zegelin ruins. We've got now a metal mine that can be established in through here. Now, metal we can then go and sell. Water we can go and sell as well. We just don't have enough industry points to build either of these mines. If I go to here, for example, and just go to construction and mining. Yeah, 195 over 2 rounds, 165 over 2 rounds, and wind traps aren't going to really help us. It shouldn't actually have that there because like that's just a waste of, you know, if I accidentally clicked on it, if I built one of those, it wouldn't generate anything. Because this is its base based on the water that can be then sort of found in those locations. It's supposed to be only on hilltops anyway. Yeah, the wind traps in through there, but it's not giving enough information about what we'd end up getting there. So anyway, we're still really stuck because of the industrial points. They're actually slowing us right down. I maybe should have started at a little bit higher level. It's quite hard starting at this low level. Let's keep that where that is, and if I go and try to attack this, I can't really attack that one, but I can. I've got 2.7 to 1. Not that I don't need this, so I'm not going to do anything with that one just yet. These haven't started to move in just yet, so they seem to be okay. Grabbed all of those. I'll just keep everything back where it is. 2 decisions. New director. So he's the, you know, he again he's only a cap 1. Now that won't matter that much for this guy, but I will go to the strat cards. grab another junior.
Yes.
Just see if he's more viable. Cap 3. Lacey Redmond. All right, so we'll just go across and see what she's like. So she's got high intelligence, pretty good charisma, good war scores back and through there as well. She's 23 years old. So she'd be better than what we're sort of seeing through there. I'd be happy with her even as a military person, but I'll put her in charge of the. Well, if we have a look at Boots, charisma is pretty low, so he's not great at what we need him to do there. Just go back to the map and decisions. Yeah, so I wonder why he's got a higher rating. It's got to be these administration scores and things in through here, I guess. It's got 24 there for agriculture, and it did say 24. But he's not going to learn. I think I'll still put her in charge of this.
Understood.
So what she'll end up doing, we've got taxation priority change is very important to us. The tariffs priority change is pretty good. Human resources and interior policy is probably not as important there. Let's just bring that down to say 10. Lock that one in. And then we've got the taxation. I'll change that to 30. Tariffs are really unimportant. I'll just move them back down to 10. I'll unclick that one and we'll just average out both of these. So we'll end up with human resources and also taxation. So we're wanting tax cards to improve our tax rates. So that will be fine. That's all good. Actually, I didn't save it. What was it? It was going to be 10 in there. 10 for that one. And then 40 for each of those. Confirm.
Understood.
There we are. So she'll then start to generate cards, hopefully, for taxation changes. And then we can change what her policies actually are after that. Okay, so that will hopefully then get our money situation under control. Energy, yeah, we've maxed out with our energy at this stage. We don't have any more that we can do there. That's okay, we just don't have a real good big need for it. Industrial points we're still building up. Again, it's so slow going with this. Another 100 infantry. Another recruit, there we go, increase income tax. So we can increase income tax by 10%. That will probably sort of even things out for us. Dismiss that one. We've got soldier morales back and through there. We didn't pick up anything from these other locations. We've now lost that particular soldier, is now gone. The groups that are up in through here, yeah, I'll leave them where they are. Not going to really worry too much about those at this stage. We will eventually push hard to take those. This one looks like it's now gone. We do actually have recon there fairly high. I will move this one up. Yeah, so they've actually wiped themselves out. So there's no real reason to stay back up there. It is very, very good for defending, but we don't really need to do that one just yet. So no one has really been able to build up any massive forces to be able to do anything at this early stage. Decisions. Turner wants change in propaganda. So this is Gus Turner again. Now if we allow it, democracy goes up and heart goes up. I'm happy enough to say yes.
Roger that.
At this point in time, it's just whatever. Sacred Circle demands that you hire the candidate. We'll accept that.
Wilco.
That'll be a new person that then comes in. So I'll have a quick look and see who that is. So this is only a cap 1, so pretty useless. In all, like terrible actually. So it does have some covert ops, but that's about it. So really not a great person to have for anything at all. Everything's going fairly well there. And again, we just need to build up so we can start to... I need to get industry up and running at some stage, but I also need to start to get food production. The industry is really so debilitating for us, and there's no easy way around that. I think I'm going to have to save up for an actual Industry 1. That means 660. Wow. We've only just got like 1 turn's worth. Not even that. I think we're sort of stuck. This is so hard playing on these moons. I'm always thinking, geez, I really shouldn't have started at such a low level. I should have started higher level, because this is debilitating. There's no easy way around this either. Like if I go to here, for example, go to construct, go to mining, I don't pick up any industry at all from anything else. It would only be if we happen to find like an industrial location somewhere. None of these are going to give me a boost to industry except for that one there. That's the only one. Yeah, nothing else gives me industry. Now, if we have a quick look at the management again and look at the tech, we haven't even discovered anything yet. University. Ammunition factory. Yeah, it doesn't give me actual industry. Yeah, this is going to be really hard. Can you build a second one? Yeah, well, it's going to cost me 600 industry to build one, and that's the trouble. So I think I'm going to have to save up for it. So it's almost just a matter now of just ending the turns until something actually happens. Piece, zero retirement. Yeah, decreasing. I forgot to play that income tax card. We'll just go and play that card now. So we'll just go into the strat cards, nation, and we'll increase income tax. So she's going to roll for this one. Difficulty is only 20, but she already has more than enough points. So we'll execute that stratagem.
Understood.
So we rolled an 89. Success, the rates have changed. So our income tax will now be higher. So the income tax is now... is gone up to 10%. So we need to get this one up to around about 30%, ultimately, is what we sort of have to then try to do, just to sort of arrest these credits that are coming back in. I might get a strat to level up private light industry. Gives you yeah, that would be cool actually to get that one. That would be great. So that we just have to rely on the strat cards to come back in. That would be under zones. Leaders, yeah, there's nothing much in here that's going to help us at all. Yeah, you're right. Maybe cards will help us potentially, but I don't think it's going to really do that. So we'll see how we go. We can't assume that that's going to happen. I'll just keep keeping that edge going through there. Let's have a quick look at the reports again. We should now start to see we're getting more bureaucratic points now coming into the Economic Council. They're getting less because we've now got more going into the Interior Council. So I preferred the Interior Council to be actually generating less, but let's get the taxation sorted out first, and then we'll sort of go from more from there. We're at 250 bureaucratic points now, so we should be discovering the first tech very, very soon. Should be any time now. Oh, see how they're closing in on this one? It's got a new tech hospital, damn it, which is not what we want. Increase income tax to get there again. Increase leader's rank and pay 5 times more salary. Nothing much else in there. Dismiss that one. So they've now been blocked off, basically, but unfortunately, well, I mean, we control this, but this group is now coming down. This group from in here is now moving in. Now, they've already built up this. God, we're so far behind. so far behind now with everything. It's very, very difficult. I almost feel like we should start again, and because we're not going to move ahead here for any length of time for an extremely long period. Militia needs extra funds. Well, we don't have the funds. But that's going to be, yeah, we're going to have to sell things off. And then Economic Council research objective. So we can research the hospital, but I'm going to research nothing. That will then just put everything back into discovery. I think, yeah, God, I don't know. I'm now really starting to think that we should actually do this one again. Just see if there's any other questions for me. Me, myself, and I say recycling facilities on those 3 ruins would do the trick. Not for industry points. We don't get industry from that. It's industry is what slowed us right down. If I start the next level up, maybe, that would probably actually be the way to do this, I think. I think I've actually sorry I've wasted so much of your time, guys. Because I've only got like about less than an hour now to keep on playing. Let me know in the chat, should we restart? Because we're just going to be stuck here forever. Like we're getting, we are getting 60 points. We're up to 324. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sort of a bit divided as to which way to go there. Let's just go to trade. We'll sell off the rare earths. Oh, these are worth nothing now. The others have been selling them.
We'll go.
Okay, we'll sell them for 477, which does give me a boost of income. We can then go back to our decisions. Me myself is saying you don't need industry. Private can do it. I'm not sure what you mean by that, sorry. Start building industry and decrease the construction speed to 25 or 50. Also check private economy. If they're building some IP assets. Yeah, actually that's true. And the hex perks, I don't think there's any around us that we can get access to. Nothing is close enough. Militia needs extra funds. We go yes now.
Yes.
So allow that to come through. Yeah, so if we have a look, I am playing with the where I can see what's on the map. That's not going to be it. That's not one. Just look at the assets. So that's not going to be anything. These aren't. Everything's now claimed. These guys are moving ahead here. Science derelict. That would be just research. We're back there again. So there's really nothing here to actually increase those. The information about what they're going to be building next is, if we have a look at Ice Mine Community. So they're going to be building on that one. That's what they're gearing up for. But yeah, it's just way too hard at this stage, I think. So Stalin's Pet saying, I'm tuning in late, so wouldn't mind seeing a DAS start. We're not going to be able to play much, unfortunately. Big user of the slower construction speeds is CB. Me, myself, and I are saying that the private sector can do it, but they're not building that. They're not building that. So they're building Ice Mine. So there's nothing being built here. Oh, actually, they have built light industry here as a private asset, so they have already done this. So we do get 23 from that, which is why it's now gone from 30 to 60. So they are continuing to build different things. Yeah, so they have helped us there. They have helped us. Got to think about what we do here, though. Is it too difficult? Maybe we'll just play a little bit more, but a drug is saying those GR units are helping a lot. Yeah, in terms of power, yeah, I guess the overall power situation that we actually have with this unit here is good. I think I might restart though, just because it has been so slow. So I will actually, I'll do a save just in case. Where are we? Preferences. Save game. I'll just call it DAS01. And I'll try to get up to speed as fast as I can here, I think. So I'll just quit the game. And we'll start a new game. And we'll do the same start, like on a small moon, and just sort of see how we go. But I'll give myself one lot of, so I'll make it a little bit different. I'm going to go to moon class. I'll still keep them spread out, the majors. I'm going to start on tech level 4, which gives me sort of like most of the tech in the next grouping, which will then allow me to build other things. I will go still on slow development, which is one of the problems we had there, was it was just slow. I'm going to go 1 army per zone, and we start off with just 1 zone. I'll keep it on hard. Hard is hard. Hard makes it very, very hard. And we'll disable the epochs, that'll be okay. Detail planet generation. This one is heavy elements are high, which is good. Planetary age is very, very low. Temperature is 90 C, so extremely hot. Okay, we'll just go and continue. 3% mountains, I might just re-roll that. 14% is going to give me a little bit more interaction. Let's just go back and have another look and see what we get. Now, it's going to be probably too much mountains. They're all a bit too high as well. We've got escarpments. This one's just purely plains. We'll re-roll that one. Whoa, that's way too much. That would be very, very hard to move around. 2%. I'll try to get like about 10%. 9%, there we go. It gives me a mountain range through the middle there. Lots of escarpments. Yeah, that's it. That looks pretty good. Let's just go that way. All right, so we've got 1 mountain range running through the moon. Hazard exposure level, unfathomable death. Just go continue. Colonization, 49 million. That's a lot. So these are the various initial locations. Landing is where it's all sort of started. Across through these other different areas. Yeah, mining activity. But there's a lot of, the 6 different zones were then created for the colonization phase. Now, if there's too much radiation, that looks pretty good actually. So the apocalypse, if we just go random, we can then sort of see what happens now. This is sort of like where we're starting. We should be starting as a smallish, no, we've got armies this time, so we do start with a, I don't know which one of the 3 here we're going to be starting as, but this is actually the weak, this is the one that's sort of in the middle that has to be then claimed. Oh, there's this one here as well, so there's 2 independents. Ideally, we'd be starting probably here, I think, would be interesting. This one here is too hard to get all the way across to there. So hollow mark is where we don't want to be. The other 2 are actually pretty good. Continue. All right, so Sosaran Oriana in through this other side. Again, we don't have any biofuels, so we need to use equipment. It's mainly going to be infantry that we end up sort of making use of. We'll just go and start the game. Course hold. That was the one in the top, I think. I'll just change this to DasTopia again. And we'll grab the wolf this time, I think. I'll keep those colours, that's actually okay. I'll just make the unit colours a little bit further back. Alright, that'll be okay. And we'll go with enforcement, heart, and autocracy. Start our turn. Boomtown. Earlock, personal guard, back in through there. Paranoia. Going 2 FP that with playing that card. In Spy, none of those are all that useful. Ascension speech. So we have 2 that want to do different things. We'll sort of democracy. There's someone that's pro-democracy, which is interesting. Actually, this one doesn't like autocracy. That's actually fascinating. Meritocracy as well. But this one here really likes democracy a lot. So we'll go that way. I'll just go and play it. We've got 14 points here.
Yes.
That's one of them. We've got a lot of decisions to make. The organisation decisions. We'll have a bit of a look at this one. We actually now, you can see that the mapping, like we've now started off at least with mines and things. So we've got a little bit of a better start here. It just gives us a bit of a boost along. Economic Council, back through this other side. I think that's because of the tech level we started with. And Economic Council is usually the one that I do like to start with, but I'll come back to that one. Zone decisions, upgrade. I'm gonna choose that, I think. And diplomacy. Offer to buy slaves. No, we'll not.
Roger.
Yep, so it looks like we've got slave traders next to us. So we're back to zone decisions. We've got 4 there. We've got 12 to spend, which is actually okay. I will do the upgrade in here. So there was a question before about why we would do that one. Before I make that decision, I might just try to explain what does go on there. So if I dismiss that one, if I just go back in, hang on, this is the worst of the starts. Yeah, that's the worst of the starts there. That was the worst one. God, do we want to do this? I'll have a quick look at the leaders. Yeah, we'll restart. We'll do a restart here, guys. We'll just use the same things. We'll quit the game. Yes. Start new game. We just don't have a real lot of options with that one either, just in terms of the independence. So, moon class, continue, keep all that where that is. I could still go back to militia only. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. And that way, if we start off on tech level 4, we should start off with our mines already established. So this one here is temperature is now going to be freezing. Interestingly, with that one, we'd end up with less solar energy irradiance. I might re-roll just to try to get the heat up. That's even worse. But the heavy elements are really high, so mining would be great. That's even worse again. Come on, give me something good. 84. Heaps of solar irradiance, which is good. That's actually fine. Continue that one. Mountains 3%. Is okay-ish. I'll just re-roll. I'll get it. Yeah, 9%. We've got a few caverns in through here as well. So quick look and see the layout. Yeah, there's a mountain range that runs through there. Yep, that's actually pretty cool. All right, that looks good. And biosphere. So we've got sort of like sand areas, and then rocky plains everywhere as well. Let's go continue. Now, the colonization only went to 7.8 million. It was mainly mining, so it's mainly a mining zone. This will then sort of start off with less people, but that's actually okay. Let's just go and continue. 0.14 million left over, so and that's actually okay. So we'll just leave that one where that is. Let's go continue. Rosario Geminio. Just start the game. And I didn't check to see where everything else was, but that's okay. I'll just call this one the DasTactic Imperium. Okay, that's done. And we'll grab the wolf one again. Primary colour, we'll just go red. And yellow, that's okay. And we'll just go back to enforcement, heart, and autocracy. Oh, found some very fast GR medium tanks. The Vortex brings credit to its name. Okay, that's pretty cool actually to grab those. Gladiators as well, like right from the start. Pacifist scientist is radical scientist protest for disarmament and cause populace dislike mind. Gain 2 fate points. Cause populace to dislike mind. That's actually a very easy one for me to use. which I quite like. Offer yourself as protector, then defend them when attacked. Okay, this looks like a pretty good start actually. Ascension speech back in through here. This is a problem. We've got somebody that really doesn't like enforcement. So it doesn't matter which way I go through here. I'll just go with commerce in this instance.
Aye, aye, sir.
New organisation, we'll come back to that one. Zone decisions, the upgrade. We'll talk about that as well. I did mean to talk about that one in the last one. Now, Natural Born Killer in the 3rd Platocron Mobile Battalion. I'll leave that as well. It's one political point there. We've got 14 to spend at this stage, which is actually fairly good. Okay, let's go back in. Dismiss that. We're starting off through here. Now, we do actually have a major there where they actually control the defensive line. There's Money Mountain in through here, which is also inside their territory. You know, I'm not liking what I'm seeing here much either, to be honest. And then we have another major right there. We've been sandwiched. We've been sandwiched between two majors. So I should have... yeah, this is not going to be good. Tormont through there. And we don't have any way out. Yeah, this is not good either. God, sorry guys. This has really become quite difficult. Yeah, this is not good at all. Being sandwiched in between them like this is going to be debilitatingly hard. We do have a defensive line through there. We do have the start of one there, but it's all open through here, which means that they can attack us whenever they feel like it, which makes life very, very tricky. Yeah, let's actually let's go and start again. I think there's no independent cities though, so it is just going to come down to who can build up, and playing on hard is going to make that too hard. So we're always going to be behind. So we'll start yet again. Playing on the moons, as I said before, extremely difficult because the everything is compressed anyway. I think if we get another shitty start, I'll go back and play the original game. So I'll go back to moon, continue, leave all that. I quite like, we'll just go militia only, but with a with tech level 4, which does give us their mining initially. 5 degrees, I'll take it. Only plains, we'll just re-roll. Just want to get some mountains. Okay, more than 2% though. 3, 4, okay, let's have a look and see. It just gives me a little bit, but not a hell of a lot. 6, I'll take the 6. There's a few little snaky areas of mountains in through there. That'll do. We'll just continue that one. This is interesting. This is more like a moon that we're sort of used to with our moon, with the colours that have been sort of indicated through there. So lots of escarpments. 12 million. That'll be okay. Didn't do much. It's just really a mining planet. And then finally, you can see the colours have now changed with the, where we sort of start off with what we end up having. Let's have a quick look and see what we've got. Oh, I've only got the 3 again. Wow. So there's actually no independence here. Although that one does look like an independent. There's only 2 factions, I think. Yeah, I think with the 12 million, it's like where we start off. It just starts off with a very small amount. Let's just go continue. Oh, there's three majors and 2 minor regimes, but the minor regimes don't actually have any locations. So all 3. Again, it's going to start off. I think I'll just go to new planet. Just do this again, one more roll because yeah, these aren't quite getting there. Continue. Leave that one through there. Continue. Yep, 70 degrees. 20% is going to be too much. 5% should be okay. We'll leave that one there. Continue. Continue. And this one here, we've got 30 million. So we're going to end up with more more groups in 6 zones. Down to point 2, got scavengers and raiders, that's going to be okay. 3 majors, 2 minors. So that's not a good one. Hamburg is good. Hamburg is great. Even Buren Flats is good as well. I think that's the independent there. So what we don't want to be is Chordians, which I bet you that's where we start. If that, like, bet you that's where we start. Start the game. Polymer Empire. Oops. Dastopia yet again. Okay, Emperor. Primary color red. Unit color yellow. And we'll just go with the wolf again. We'll go with enforcement, heart, and autocracy. I like that they random those up, so you can always just say I'm just going to choose A's all the way through if you're wanting to. Security. That's interesting. 3 fate points for that one. Let's just blame it on the vodka. One of your happiest, most intelligent leaders becomes alcoholic. Gain 1 fate point. We only gain 1. Okay, so not great cards to start with. So we got these as well. Some good ones in through there. Fist and heart both sort of end up being fairly good. Organisation decisions and then zone decisions. And I still haven't spoken about looking at that in sort of any sort of analysis. Just go dismiss. In fact, we did start off there. This is actually pretty good. This is a pretty good start. What this one does is it does give us, this is the independent down through this other side. We have a zone. If we have a quick look at the strategic map, we've got a zone up through here which is a territory, which could be anything. We have another one down there which is non-aligned forces, which will be just sort of marauders and things. Hamburg is a major. This is Hochstein, and then we have another one down through here which is Chordens. But this here is actually this is the area that we could try to go and grab this this location here. So Stennis Moonsland, Stenny's Moonsland, yeah, whatever, however you want to pronounce that one. So that's actually sort of like the area that we do want to be expanding into, and trying to cut this off if we can. There is one highly defendable location right there, but it's going to be more about coming in here, I think, to try to cover this. We are going to need some protection back this way. Have a look and see what else there is. There's an asset through here, which actually we can't see that one. Digger's Cave is not going to give us much. So again, just looking at the bonuses we could pick up. That compound, tool compound, that would be a good one actually for us to try to go and grab as well. And then there is actually this one here I would love to get. There's going to be some good stuff just with the number of units, not units, but the number of houses that are there. And Palisade as well would be another good one for us. Mercs back up that way as well would give a bit of a bonus. Sacred Rock. Yep, that's okay. All right, so we've already got mines established along through here. So if we go back to our assets, we can then sort of see that there's a dome farm where we're already losing food because we don't have our own food. Schools have been established, which we're getting some education. Police station, we're getting some security. So we're getting a little bit of education, quality of life. We're getting security, quality of life. These are the free folk towns. I'll just go back in and click on the actual asset itself. So back in through here, we start off with our own truck station, which allows us to then move around a lot faster, and we're going to then have better supply. We do actually have the high command is back in through there again as well. We do start off with an industry this time, so we now have good industry. This is all because we started off on tech level 4, not tech level 3. We control the recycling plant. We also start off with our bureaucratic office. So we start off with all of the good basic things. It means we're not going to be sort of stuck doing nothing for a long period of time. They control a dome farm, and they control the schools, and they also control the police station. And this time we've got a mini reactor, not just a battery. So we've got 100 energy points coming back in. So that allows us to then go and build things. Certainly much easier start in terms of building up. So that sort of works fairly well. Let's have a quick look at the management screen. Models, go to all. We now actually have a lot more models designed. Flat guns don't matter. They're completely useless. Infantry, great. That's good. Machine gun, good. Buggies, average. Light tanks, average. Artillery, good. Anti-tank guns, good. Okay, that's okay. I'm happy enough with that. Leaders, 2s and 3s, I'm happy enough with that as well, to be honest. So that's actually not too bad. Our reserve pool member is Gil Cooper, who has got good war scores. And she's got good inventor skills through here. Inventor is used in model discovery and design and tech discoveries. So she's going to be able to help with discovering things pretty quickly. I think that we get the economic industry coming in straight away. But yeah, with the combination of all these things, it's actually pretty cool. So she's not too bad. So we'll just pop her into that role. Everything else looks pretty good there. So we'll just go back across, and we start off with just a small number of units. So two mobile forces, and then just a couple of others, a couple of just militia forces which can't really move too far out. I am going to be wanting to just go back and claim different territories. So I'll move, just go back to all of these. I'm going to be wanting to get across to here and grab that location. Yeah, I would like to pick up both of those. I can't quite get that one. Oh, yes, I can. It gives me 2 locations right from the start, and it does give me those ruins as well. That's a good start. Good start. Okay, then these guys, I do need to move out and just claim territory, but I want to get up to these tool compounds. Yeah, we've got ruins up this way. Just start to sort of push on up to see what we can actually grab from there. All right, that's about all we can safely do at this stage. This border will stay secure for a length of time. It's open from both sides. And then this one here, I would love to be able to get in around and get palisade at some other point. Food is going down, that's a problem. We do have a lot of water coming in, so we have our ice mine established. Now we've still got the 3 decisions we have to make as well. Oil is coming in because of the recycling centre that we actually have. We're getting good mining coming in. We're getting good industry coming in. So we can start to now build things right from the start. So back into here, I could grab this one as well, just to pick up extra of the rare earths. And what I want to do is I really want to be getting that established before too much else actually does happen. But I want to be able to trade. Like when we saw it the last time, at the moment, if the longer we leave it, the higher it's going to go up. But if somebody else then starts to trade it, it's then going to go way, way down. So 6.32, I'm going to wait till it gets close to 10 before I start to, that's sell. We're actually okay there. We'll go and cancel that. At the moment, metal is pretty good as well, and even food is pretty good. So I'll just cancel that though. We're going to need to get our own food supply pretty early with what we're seeing through there. And yeah, that's all pretty good with what we can sort of see. These guys, I'm just not thinking don't know whether we to move these down and just support this one here. I might take the punt and just leave I might leave the city unprotected and just hope that nothing sneaks around. Decisions. We'll go with the Economic Council. Even though we've done pretty well with, we've got our basics, but we need to get if we go back again into management and have a look at technology. So we have now a lot of these things. We do have solar energy. Hydroponics would be good. Heavy industry would be good ultimately. Military is only good if we get the model person, but getting combat armor would be good as well. And she's pretty good in those sort of skills. I mean, we could go that way, but I think we'll go Economic Council. Or we go Interior and actually just get what we need in through here straight away for the tax. Yeah, I'm unsure. Well, small town actually. So what are we talking about here? If we go back into Polymer and have a look at the actual town itself, so it's a village at this stage. So city is level 1. So what we're going to end up getting through here is the populace is 43,000. This is the total number of population and workers in the town. The next level, it needed to be 25,000 to go to the next level. Now, it doesn't show us actually how fast the influx is. We will sort of get things in through here where we've got the population. Yes, this is general population. So population increased with 200 because of workers leaving public employment. Population decreased with 200 due to workers due to taking workers from the population. So we've got workers as well back into here, which is sort of different. Actually, I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. That's population happiness. Yeah, we're not going to be able to see this one through here that easily. If I just go and click on that one through there. They want to build light industry next, which is actually good. But in this case, the recruited 500 recruits in the population for the military. That's okay. Population increased with 100 inhabitants due to natural growth. Population increased with plus 1,000 due to free folk migration. So the free folk have come from these little towns to actually sort of come and join us because of the combination of the happiness and once we start to sort of get higher civilization levels and things like this, it makes it a bit easier. And then the population decreased to 700 due to the militia pool deployment. So these militia guys ended up sort of taking 700 away from the population growth that actually happened through there. But overall, it went up by 1,800. Now, at the moment, the village we're way over the village amount. Like we're 20,000 over where we need to be for the next population level. The reason that we would want to keep a level 1 village is essentially our civilization score. So we have a civilization score of 5 and the quality of life score of 4. This essentially ends up pushing itself up. We saw their security and education will continue going up. We've got 50 security points back and through there. Those two will go up. We don't have anything in health or entertainment, but this will start to sort of push up a little bit. Now the civilization score ultimately, if it gets to, I forget how much it works, but the village level will actually indicate what we need to do to be able to then go to the next level of civilization, which is actually always a good thing to go and get. But if I keep it back into here, the growth is going to be sort of stifled, is my understanding of how this one does work. So we're better off allowing it to be a bigger city to allow for bigger population and then letting this thing catch up with itself later. So for me, the population growth is fairly important, just to sort of keep that one going. So I'm going to go and do this one. I may be wrong about that, but that's my understanding as to where we are. So we've got the upgrade to small town in through here. I'm going to go and do that one. Just go back to here to start with. We'll go to Economic Council.
Received.
The Ascension speech is only one, and I'll grab, it's either Fist or, I shall go with Heart because we've already started with Heart.
Order received.
Go that way, and upgrade in through here.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're down to 4 and through this other side. So we're now at a tech level. Now the small town is level 3. The next level that goes up is at 50,000. It does make it a little bit harder for us to go and get that the civilization or the next level of. In fact, it's probably easier to see it in through here. Civilization level back in through here. So what this one is, this is the civilization level is the square root of your average regular zone civilization levels and diminished with 1. So we're going to end up essentially with the actually it doesn't really impact the actual the size of the town. Yeah, it doesn't actually impact. I thought it did. I thought the town. So civilization level is the square root of your average regular zone civilization levels diminished with 1. Civilization score, this is what we're talking about through here, is that is the number that ends up coming through with. Yeah, this is based. So this is the one through here. So this is the where is it? The quality of life is higher than, if the quality of life is higher than zone civilization score, it will increase happiness. And if it is lower than the zone civilization score, it will decrease happiness. So yeah, we want the quality of life to be higher. The high limit for the zone quality of life is the quality of life score average plus the lowest quality of life score divided by 2. It's a bit convoluted the way it sort of does work. But yeah, I forget where the calculation actually is. Anyway, it's in there somewhere. We'll leave that where that is for this turn. We'll just go and end our turn here. I don't think there's much else we need to do. Actually, I forgot to look at the cards. All right, this is definitely a zone, which is a problem. Found hidden treasure at Berg Rivet, so we ended up with just credits, unfortunately. Admin pack, so has risen to level 4. Organisation, 2 stratagems, dismiss. And so we have this now as a problem. We don't know what this zone actually is. Going to leave that one there. Unfortunately, we're going to be pushed back from here. Oh, here we go. The Digger's Cave. We're going to have an event here. So free folk join us. So impressed by stories of our stability and good governance, a free folk town has decided to join us. They're requesting that we help them to hold their town. Your support could inspire more free folk to defend their town. So if we go yes, we can then, and this is the one in through here. This is at 12:11. And so that should be 12:11 there. Yep, 12:11 there. And so these guys, again, these are pretty powerful for this stage of the game. And all I need to do is just connect this one up and then just make sure that we've got like a road connection, which I should be able to afford. Like it's all open plain, so it's not going to be very expensive to do that. And if we go and do that one, it does give us this Digger's Cave as well, which is, have a look at the assets. This one here, we get 10 metal at the start of each turn as well, which is quite nice. So we end up with a mining cave at that location. I might allow that, I think. So if we just have a bit of a look, so we can go yes or no, but we'll go yes in this case.
Roger that.
National budget allocations. I do want the Economic Council to be a little bit up, so I'll go 60-40. I'll just go and confirm those changes. New director, so she's actually pretty good for this one. I'm just going to go and appoint her.
Affirmative.
Discovery again, 0. I'll go 50. And then these, just even these out at 25 each. Oh, prospecting, I probably want to get prospecting up as well. I'll get prospecting to say 40 and just confirm that. Hochstein demands the release of spy. So now Hochstein, who are they? Supreme Commander. If we accept their offer, autocracy goes up. Didn't spy and refuse their payment. autocracy goes up a lot if we do that. It's the first SHQ. Let's have a quick look and see who Hochstein is. Yeah, it's this guy, these guys here. So we don't really want to be fighting them just yet. Yeah, so we'll definitely sort of go on the friendly side with those. So back in through here, we'll just go and we'll do the top one. I don't know what money we get, but I'll just go yes, return this by, and refuse the payment.
Roger that.
So we'll end up on friendly points with them. All right, Bond's saying new Empire run, new DLC preview. No, I don't have that yet. I don't know when that will be coming at all, actually. Now we're going to start to run out of. You can see we've got green in through here because we've got the operational logistics turned on. It's now turning to yellow there. As long as we can get across without it turning to black, it's now going to light green, and it does go to black at that point. So we do need to get a road established. Now the road problem that we have through here is that we can see that there's a, we could build a road out, up this, like through here. If I claim that territory, that aspect there, damn it, there's actually a little group there, which is, I can't bring this one across enough to be able to then go and claim it. I've got two groups in through here of Free Folk Marauders. This is a second Diggers Cave group. But I can move these away to move them back into our territory. But there is sort of like some marauding type groups in there. Now that's a problem for here because we don't have anything really to protect this. And these can start to move around. Got the Duron range there. Top market there. It's going to move that one out. We need to get a road established. I think the only way I can actually do this, I've assumed that there wouldn't be anything in here and that we'd then be able to push a road in through this other side. I can push it down this way. And then back in through there. We can't get across here. I'll show you what I mean. Like if I try to build a road, I don't have to go very far either. I could even just build it to there. And that one, that may actually sneak through. Because ideally we just build it this way. And we don't even have to go that far. We just have to keep hold of this for a certain amount of time. I forget how long it is. So I do need to get supplies out there. And I don't need much. I just need to, even just to get the red would be enough. And that should be enough if I take it to there. So let's go and give that a go. Now we don't know what all these guys coming through here are a bit of a problem. I'll stay where I am there, but they're going to come down and try to cut things off. I don't know what these are. Some sort of marauding faction. I do want to get that. Right, well, they're going to cause issues. Now we're losing a lot of food per turn. I'm going to build in here. I'm just going to go across to construction. And we'll get an ag dome built there, I think. This will cost me 2 rounds. I do have enough of everything except for machines.
Yes, sir.
Start the construction. We also do want to be protecting our city here. We could actually lose the game in no time at all. Now to build workshops, to build these machines, I can build 2 of them for 40 of these, which I think is actually okay in this case. So I'll build my own. If we have a look, I mean, if I sold 40 metal, 40 rare earths, if I sold 40 and 40, is it worth it? Let's just go and cancel and have a look at the trade. So to buy Machines. There's none. Oh, sorry, that's to buy. Machines are going to cost me 100 credits each, so it's going to cost me 200 credits. If I went and sold 40 metals at 2, that would actually, so if I sold 40, which is essentially what that would then cost me, I'm going to get 80 credits, and if I sold 40 rare earths, I would get another 80 credits there. Actually, that doesn't make sense. That's 12. Can only sell 24. So for 161, actually, well, that's actually 240. So it's actually cheaper for me to sell and buy than it is for me to it's cheaper for me to actually go and buy 2 of these for 200 and sell the component pieces. So if I sell as many of these as I can, I've got 59. If I sell 24 of those, that's 161. So let's just go and sell those.
Roger that.
And I could sell metal as well if I wanted to, and I've got good metal income coming in. So so metal, I could actually, I've got a fair bit of it, so I could sell a little bit there. Maybe we'll just sort of sell, say 60 worth, so 30 metal. That will then just give me a big boost to my money anyway, which allows me, actually I don't even need to do that. I'll just go back to buy. And I'll just go and buy the 2 machines that I require. So I'll just go and buy them for 200.
Roger that.
I only had 2 available, so that's good. We'll just go and cancel that one now. So I now have the machines that I require for this location. And if we go back to the assets at that location, we now have two turns left for this particular location in through here, which is going to cost me 1 machine each turn, 5,000 workers, 110 industry points, which I have, and 100 metal, which I have. So I'm happy with that. So getting the machines by buying them rather than making them actually makes more economic sense at this stage. So we'll exit out of that one. I hope that made sense. Have a quick look back in through here again at polymer. You can see there the numbers have now gone way up. And again, I think that's due to the fact that we've now sort of beyond where we want it to be with with our population. So the actual town itself, we now have got the growth going back up. I don't know. I haven't really analysed this in any great depth, but this one is actually we're getting close to even going to the next level if we needed to. The barbaric levels there are pretty cool. Go back to reports. Civilization level. We need to get this one to level 2. We'll be looking at that one fairly readily. We're loved at this point in time. That's all of those ones done. We do want to also just get some troops. How many can we get? That's way too much of that. I'll get 5. Just get a few of these just to produce, just so we got some troops back in the town. So we'll cancel that one. That just keeps some troops back there, just in case any of these actually get to the town itself. All right, that'll do us. End our turn there. Look at that. Here we go. We've got 10 GR Hellraisers. Nice. So we've been cut off here. These sort of came in on this location. We've been cut off this way as well. Just going to move that one across just to keep things open. I want to keep this open for when we can start to get other units. Just move that one back a little bit. Oh, now these were still getting supply. I don't know how. They do eat food. receive any. They've got enough food there for 2 turns. Now this is like like an atomic weapon, which we're not going to be needing to use, but this does incredible damage. Yeah, it's a 1 megaton fission missile, and I'll just move it back into the capital. We still need to get this road built. In fact, with that one now done, I'll just go back to move. It's now moved off. So that's pretty useful. We can now get the road established, even just coming straight through from here. So I'll just go back into road building by pressing R. Dirt road, this is industrial points per hex. I'm just going to go from there. Oh, hang on, I can't build it there. I'll let this, because we've got time, I will actually just start this process. Hang on, where is it? It won't be enough. Oh yes, it will. That will be enough to just get the food now coming back into this location, which is fine. And we do need to bring this one back as well. Let's go back to movement. Just get all of these established. Get them pushed back, and then we'll start to move these back in. And ultimately we'll be wanting this one to swap over back over here, I think. And then we just keep like a road that gets us across into this location. One decision. Hochstein demands release of another spy. Again, we'll just try to keep on with friendly terms with them.
Roger that.
So they're going to become friendlier and friendlier. That's okay where that is. You really can't do much with these. Just keep that where that is. We'd love to know what this territory is, what these guys are. We just don't have that just yet. So still building this one up. Our food is still going down pretty quickly. Water is going up quite nicely. We've run out of storage for energy. Yep, that's all, everything's looking pretty good there. There's a problem. What are these guys? What are they? There's certainly a lot of them. Expanding. Dismiss no machines. Now that shouldn't be a problem. If we have a look at the assets here. So yeah, we've got 0.2 of a turn left. So we'll just wait until we actually get this one established. Then we'll be able to. We've run out of food now, so we do need to make sure that we trade and buy food. So we're going to buy food for a little bit. I'll get say 100.
Roger that.
That will make them unhappy-ish. Actually, I might get even more. Need another 50.
Roger that.
Done. Okay, so we'll get this one established next turn. And we're going to run out again for one turn, but we should be, it'd be okay after that. Just lock that one off. You can see their supplies are low coming back in. This is the food supply is running out. Just keep on pushing these out a little bit. Move this one up. Keep these where they are. Just gotta hope that these don't. Whatever. I don't know who these are or what they're doing. Actually, we do have another militia there. I'll just move this one up to try to protect that road. Can't do anything else there. yeah, private credits go up a little bit. Wouldn't be bad to try to snaffle that one if we can. There's something else that's come in and cut them off from here though, which is interesting as well. So we'll just sort of keep everything going there. One decision again, open contact. So an envoy from the Zeppelin Republic has entered our territories. He requests an open line of communication between us. Let's go and see who that is. Is that them? No. Yeah, it's them there. So the one that's over this side here. So if we go across and we can accept, although two of our guys don't really want us to do that one, refuse to open contacts. I think I'll still accept at this stage because I don't really want to be doing anything. So even though that's going to annoy a couple of those guys, we'll still just go that way. These guys should be fairly friendly from Hamburg. And you know, we'll just keep that one where that is. I just don't know what this guy here is. Yeah, we just don't know what they are. These are yeah, really unknown with the territory that's actually up this way. All right, that'll do. Industry is back up again, so let's just go back into here and just go back to construction. Go to government. And we do actually have the, before we can get this one here, which is really important, yeah, we need to get other things at this stage. We could get the hospital to get the health points up. We can't really afford the industry just yet. Industry level 2 is too much. The biofuel refinery ultimately will be important, but we need to get our food really well established before we can go and do that one. And the munitions factory does require machinery again, so we can't really sort of do anything with that one. Truck station 2 we don't need. Energy. At this stage, energy is actually okay. We'll just let that one sort of keep on sort of just coming back through. Mining. We do have the rares that we could go for, but I think I'll just leave everything where it is at this stage. Yeah, they've taken that location. Oh, Romanio territory has violated our orders, our borders, and declared war on us. Now this is the territory to the north. So we're now at war with them, but we don't even know what they are. Just don't have the recon to be able to see what they're actually, who they actually are, and what they're doing. Move that one back. This one's pretty much a bit of a nothing. So let's now move these back as well. Just move that one down. Get the stronger forces. These sort of free folk marauders probably going to be fairly reasonably powerful. Good hit points. So we'll sort of bring them up as well. And without knowing who we're dealing with, it's a tricky one there. So they're becoming a problem. Now, in terms of industry, we've got a fair bit through there. Let's just see if what units we can bring in. If we can bring an armoured car in, that would be ideal at this stage. So I'll just go back to polymer, go back to race formation, go back to independent. Buggies, oh sorry, battalion. Actually, I can make buggies 62%. As long as I'm over 50% there, I can actually go and do it. These do cost a lot of. Now the fuel is still. We're only just making enough fuel. These are unfortunately going to be chomping through the fuel a fair bit. We don't actually know what we're up against, but this would then allow me to at least see what's going on. So independent recon. So we're low on industrial points. I think I'll raise one of these. It only gives me like a small number of them, but let's just go and get that one done. Boland saying, can we afford to raise a full army group against the enemy? No, not even close. Just individual units at this early stage. We need to find out who we're up against. Roaming thieves in Polymer. The organisation generated 2 new stratagems. Okay. Do have problems with soldier morale. Here we go. We're looking at these have declared war. These are sentinels. Okay, this is a problem if they decide to go up against us because the sentinels are very, very powerful. So these are walkers. And you can see there the damage that they do. 440 hit points. The best we can do, this is basically, like essentially if they do come after us, we're dead. It's extremely difficult to fight these guys. Got a soft defense there of 184 and a soft defense there of 92. But it's just going to be so difficult. If we have a look at these guys, we have a hard attack of 88. Now we're near enough there. What I will do is just bring up the... yeah, I think this is actually a bit of a loss for me, really. That makes it very, very hard. We're now making a little bit of food, so food will start to correct itself. This one here should have picked up food. Yeah, we were missing the food items from there. They couldn't bring the food across. The rest of them, they will actually fix it all up though, so I don't have to worry about that too much. Okay, replacement troops, we need 2 more of the buggies. Only get 1. I don't think we can really defend against these. These will be extremely difficult to... we sort of almost have to get them to attack us, which they will do. I'm just going to move down. As a party, we'll allow that.
Yes, sir.
And the roaming thieves, give our full support.
Yes, sir.
Final roll, that's good. So that was a success. That's good. I like that they're now spelling everything out so you can see exactly what the rolls were and why things worked. But I've run out of time, guys. Sorry. So I'm going to have to leave it here. You need to continue your road. No, it's actually okay. As long as there's this red colour, they will get food. Food will come through if it's available. But there was no food there this time around. But that will be fine as of, like, once we start to sort of make the food, that will come good. But anyway, guys, we'll have to leave it there. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. So it says Mark Mongan is saying salutations. Guess what I did? Summer, winter for us down under. Sale is on until the 11th. So Dwarf Fortress is like $35. I'll get it payday. Haven't played since the LNP. Hope the Steam version. If Steam version is excellent, like it's so much better than the actual other version, to be honest. Anyway, so I've always been playing Return to Moroya. I haven't don't ever do this, but I've got the paid DLC, just more building stuff. Absolutely love building. Yeah, it's like single player Dwarf Fortress. Okay, yeah, I haven't actually. I don't know. Return to Moria. Sorry, how do you pronounce that? Whatever the Lord of the Rings thing is. Yeah, so anyway, it's but no, that's cool. It's like Dwarf Fortress. The Steam version of Dwarf Fortress is, in my opinion, so much more accessible than the other version. Anyway, guys, we're going to leave it there. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow. I'm not sure well, it should be DasTactic. I'll see how I go. I think we're running out of the Steam Summer Sale, though. I think does that finish tomorrow, or does it finish a little bit later on? Actually, no, it finishes a bit later on. Maybe we'll do a Steam Summer Sale sort of recap and sort of see if there's anything worth having a look at in that lot there. I meant to do it a week ago, but I wasn't actually doing DasTactic on that particular day. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you tomorrow if you're around.